The 2-week countdown is on for pregnant Jinger Duggar Vuolo. The expecting counting on star, who is less than 2 weeks away from her due date, shared a photo of her nearly 39-week baby bump to Instagram on Tuesday. Almost there. Vuolo number 38 weeks 4 days, she wrote. Jeremy and I can't wait to meet our baby girl. Throughout her pregnancy, Jinger, 24, has been documenting her growing bump by sharing photos to Instagram. In the snapshots, she's worn a black, fitted t-shirt and stood beside a black chalkboard, on which she's compared her baby girl's growth to the size of fruits and vegetables. 38 weeks baby is the size of a pumpkin, she wrote on the chalkboard. Jinger and her husband Jeremy Vuolo announced in January that they were expecting and revealed in April that they will be having a little girl, who is due later this month. We are so happy to announce that we are having a little baby girl, they told People. We could not be more excited and are eagerly anticipating meeting our little lady this summer. We especially love thinking forward and realizing that she will have excellent role models in both of her grandmothers, who cannot wait to shower her with love. After announcing the pregnancy, Jeremy shared that he hopes their firstborn will be just like his bride. I am praying that the baby will look like, act like, talk like, be like Jinger, and so on. Happy Monday, Bachelor Nation. We're back with another week of Becca Cuffrin's season of the Bachelorette reads on for everything that goes down. With hometown dates around the corner, we're down to 6 guys as the episode opens in the Bahamas and things are shaking out a little differently. Instead of a rose ceremony at the end of the week, Becca sets up 4 dates, 3 one-on-ones and 1 3-on-1 with a rose up for grabs on each date. The first one-on-one goes to Colton. The pick comes as a surprise to the rest of the guys, who admit that they can't really see Becca ending up with Colton. This might have something to do with Colton's big secret, which is that he's a virgin. Ironically, this ends up being the most sexually charged date of the season. After spending a few hours making out all over their catamaran, Becca and Colton are introduced to a local fisherman who teaches them how to dive for conchs. Conchs, also known as Bahamian Viagra, are allegedly an aphrodisiac, and Becca uses this opportunity to exhaust any and all sexual puns. I'm super impressed with Colton. He really knows how to work that conch. You get the gist. Meanwhile, poor Colton is freaking out inside because he knows he needs to tell Becca about his virginity before the date is over. He's worried it's going to be a deal breaker, and says as much when he finally blurts it out over dinner. There is a conversation that I do want to have with you because it could be a potential roadblock for us, he says, looking visibly uncomfortable. It's one of those things that is hard for me to talk about because I haven't talked about it very often, and it's something that I struggle with articulating. I told you earlier I put my professional life in front of my personal life. I spent a lot of time working on football Colton and I sort of forgot who personal Colton was. And I did only have one serious relationship coming into this. I haven't had that many girlfriends or that many dates because of sports. And because of that I still am a virgin. Becca's initial reaction is less than ideal. Really? Was the first word out of her mouth. It's pretty awkward, and after a few minutes of floundering, she excuses herself for a moment. When she returns, she gently tries to ask why he never did the deed with his previous girlfriend. Unconfirmed, but we're pretty sure she's talking about Ali Raceman. Related video, the Bachelorette's Chris R. Connor will have another chance at love on Bachelor in Paradise. Colton doesn't really have an answer as to why it never happened with his ex, but he says it has nothing to do with waiting for marriage and everything to do with waiting for the right person. When the time comes, It'll happen, he says. I'm not trying to prove anything. It's just a part of me, you know? I'm not going to have a mistake one night. I want it to be a special moment. I want it to be a gift that I give to somebody. Totally kidding. We love you, Colton. Becca tells Colton she would never judge him for his choices and thanks him for opening up about it. Oh, and he gets the rose. A win for virgins everywhere. The next one-on-one goes to Garrett. They travel to a private beach via seaplane and it's all very romantic. That night, she delves a little deeper and asks him all about his first marriage. I think that I was young and probably a little immature, he says. I wanted this future with children. I wanted to have a family one day and be that family man and be this awesome husband, and I would put in all my energy and effort to make it work. So I was excited to take that next step with someone and I thought it was her. But she's like, so hot-blooded and screaming and yelling. Garrett says that from the beginning of the relationship, his now ex-wife would act out, but he pushed through it because he wanted to make it work. Becca expresses her fears that he might do the same with her, but he reassures her that there are no red flags here and in fact, he's falling in love with her. At this point, there's no denying that these two have real, genuine feelings for each other. They cap the night off with a moonlight swim and obviously, Garrett gets the rose. Thank goodness Blake gets the last one-on-one, because the man was truly starting to spiral. On the date, he confesses he's been struggling with watching Becca's relationships develop with the other guys. Unfortunately, he doesn't quite get the answer he was hoping for. Instead, Becca admits that going through the experience as the lead of the show has opened her eyes up to the challenges of falling for more than one person at a time. In a way, I do sympathize with Ari Lyendrick Jr., she says. Because I couldn't understand how you could feel so strongly for multiple people, and I see just how difficult it probably was for him at the end. I'm following my heart and I'm following what's right for me and it feels right, but it's not easy. She later explains that she feels the need to be honest with Blake even if it hurts because of how much she likes him. I think I do need to be open with Blake about how hard this journey truly is because I do feel the most strongly for him and as strongly as I do feel for him, I still have feelings for other guys, she says. It's just scary knowing that we have so far to go. I don't know what's going to happen in the next couple of weeks. That night, Blake opens up about his family and reveals that when he was in high school, his mom had an affair with his basketball coach/English teacher. Brutal. That was really hard, he says. If I've learned anything, it's that I want the openness in the family. I don't want to raise my kids that way. I want to put family first, over anything. Becca is totally on the same page, which opens up the floor for Blake to profess his love for her. I've fallen so much for you, he says. It's been incredible. It's been so much fun. Falling in love, it's fun. It's really fun. But I think staying in love would be even more fun, and I've never had that. Becca, I am in love with you. Blake is the first guy to tell me that he's in love with me and he's no longer falling, but he's there, she gushes after giving him the rose. Hearing him say that with such confidence, I want to hear him say it over and over again. I feel 100% confident with going to his hometown and meeting his family. With Blake, I just know. Every moment with him, I don't want it to end. Finally, it's time for the dreaded group date. That's really just a glorified 3-on-1. Becca spends the day on the beach with Leo, Wills and Jason, but during her individual time with Leo, he gets candid about the fact that they might not be on the same page. Becca agrees, and they part ways before the date is over. Heading into the evening portion with just Wills and Jason, Becca spends one-on-one time with each guy, leading her to make her toughest decision yet. Ultimately, she decides to go with Jason, sending Wills home in the process. The Baccalaureate airs Mondays, 8 p.m. ET, on ABC. Just like her mommy, Chicago West knows all her angles. Kim Kardashian West's youngest child adorably posed for a series of videos her mom shared on Instagram Story and Snapchat Monday. "Hey, cutie." The Keeping Up with the Kardashians reality star, 37, told her 5-month-old daughter, whose face was highlighted with several of the app's popular filters, including one that turned Chicago's lips purple. The proud parent also repeatedly called the infant by her nickname Kai, which Aunt Khloe Kardashian previously gave a little tutorial on how to pronounce. Want all the latest pregnancy and birth announcements, plus celebrity mom blogs? Click here to get those and more in the People Babies newsletter. Related, Kim Kardashian West says her kids don't know she's famous. They have no clue. Kardashian West continues to share 2 cute photos and videos of Chicago since she was born via surrogate on January 15. On the 4th of July, the KKW beauty mogul shared footage of 2-year-old son Saint sweetly kissing his little sister. "He loves his sissy," Kardashian West captioned one video of Saint leaning in to kiss Chicago, whom he adorably called Jack, the baby from the Incredibles franchise. Related, why Kim Kardashian, Khloe Kardashian and Kylie Jenner used Snapchat filters on their babies' faces. Kardashian West also proved Chicago is always ready for her close-up last week when the mother of 3 shared a hilarious photo of the baby pursing her lips and narrowing her eyes, throwing a bit of an adorably menacing look at the lens. Related, feel the love. See Kim, Kanye, North, Saint and Chicago's cutest pics. Despite the reality star and husband Kanye West's immense degree of fame, she previously revealed that her 3 kids have no idea their parents are celebrities. "It's pretty intense, but at home I'm not known," she recently told ITV. The Real Housewives of Orange County Season 13 taglines are here. Returning housewives Vicki Gunvalson and Tamra Judge, as well as newly single co-stars Shannon Beater and Kelly Dodd, are at it again, this time color coordinating in white dresses as they dish out their new one-liners for the upcoming installment of the hit Bravo series. And joining them are newcomers Gina Kirschenheiter and Emily Simpson. While viewers will be getting to know Long Island native Kirschenheiter and Ohio transplant Simpson, longtime fans of the franchise will be catching up on the biggest things in Gunvalson, Judge, Beater and Dodd's lives. Related, The Real Housewives of Orange County whoop it up and fight it out in Season 13 trailer. Gunvalson, the fun bus is leaving, and this time I'm in the driver's seat. Judge, I'm still the hottest housewife in Orange County, and the toughest, too. Dodd, call animal control, 'cause there's a cougar on the loose in the OC. Beater, some people say I'm too much to handle. I say, I'm just getting started. Simpson, when you come from humble beginnings, you count your blessings. One diamond at a time. Kirschenheiter, I speak the truth. Even if it sounds funny when I say it. In the trailer, which People premiered exclusively, Season 12 Elias Gunvalson and Dawn may be hitting a rough patch in their friendship after Gunvalson and her boyfriend Steve Lodge go on a double date with Dawn's ex-husband Michael and his new girlfriend. Meanwhile, Beater and Judge seem to be having troubles of their own. The trailer ends with the two of them in the throes of battle as Beater asks, "So you're going to do a goddamn F-straitjacket intervention right now?" The real Abby Lee Miller is not letting her cancer diagnosis get in the way of returning to Dance Moms. While determinations on an 8th season has yet to be made, production is casting and Miller is involved in the process, a rep for Lifetime confirms to People. In March 2017, the dance instructor announced her resignation from the show in an Instagram post, accusing officials behind the series of treating her like dirt after she wrapped filming for Season 7B. "I will no longer take part in Dance Moms," Miller wrote. "For the past 6 years/7 seasons I have asked, begged, and even demanded creative credit for all the ideas, award-winning routines, themes and costuming, to no avail. I don't have a problem working with any kid. I love children and have dedicated my life to making other people's children successful." She continued, "I just have a problem with being manipulated, disrespected, and used, day in and day out by men who never took a dance lesson in their lives and treat women like dirt." In April, one day after undergoing emergency surgery for what was initially thought to be a spinal infection, the 51-year-old newly released from prison was preliminarily diagnosed with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, a cancer that develops in the lymphatic system. "It was not an infection, it was a type of a non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. It's a type of a cancer," said Dr. Human M. Melamed, an orthopedic spine surgeon at Cedars-Sinai Marina Del Rey Hospital who has been treating the star. "We're getting an oncologist involved and we have to figure out what the next steps are as far as chemotherapy or radiation or more spine surgery. Depending on the tumor type, depending on the sensitivity of the tumor, it just depends the type, but I feel more than yes, she will undergo chemotherapy or radiation," Dr. Melamed said at the time. "If we didn't do something, she was going to die," Dr. Melamed previously told People. Her blood pressure was bottoming out. She was not doing well. Before her diagnosis, Miller had been living in a halfway house since serving her 366-day sentence for bankruptcy fraud at the Victorville Federal Correctional Institution in California, which she entered in July. Ollie Fedotowsky-Mano isn't hiding her post-baby body. The former baccalaureate who welcomed her second child, son Riley Doran, on May 24 got candid on social media Monday, sharing 3 photos that showed off her postpartum stomach in what she described as her most vulnerable Instagram post ever. "I've gone back and forth 1 million times in my head on whether or not I wanted to post it," explained Fedotowsky-Mano, 33. "But at the end of the day, I know it's important to be open and honest about my postpartum body in hopes that it helps even one person out there who is struggling with their own body image. If you swipe to see the second photo in this post, you see that my body has changed," she added. "My skin around my stomach is very loose and stretched out, I'm 15 pounds heavier than I used to be, and my cup size has grown quite significantly." The lifestyle blogger also used her Instagram story to share photos and video of her extra fat and the loose skin around her belly, admitting she was so nervous to do so and writing, "This is what my body really looks like and I am okay with that. I love my body." Want all the latest pregnancy and birth announcements, plus celebrity mom blogs? Click here to get those and more in the People Babies newsletter. Related, Candace Swanepoel won't apologize for her body after baby. "I'm not ashamed of my tummy." In an accompanying blog post, Fedotowsky Mano credited Lily and Lime for their ability to help women everywhere feel more comfortable in their own skin. The swimwear brand boasts sizes ranging from 28D to 40HH and reveals she was inspired to post about her body because she didn't want to mislead her followers. I've gotten so many comments from people on my recent Instagram photos saying that they can't believe how much I bounced back to my pre-pregnancy body. Or someone will say something like, "I wish I looked that good after having a baby," she wrote. And while I appreciate the positive comments, you guys are always so good to me, I keep trying to explain that I'm just good at picking out clothes that flatter my body and hide my tummy. Added Fedotowsky Mano, and I've tried to assure many of you that I haven't completely bounced back and that my body has changed a lot. But as much as I say that, I feel like it's hard to believe unless I show you guys. I want you all to see me as I really am, and to know that I'm not perfect and I struggle with my postpartum body just like many other women out there do. Related video, Jamie Otis embraces her post-pregnancy body 3 days after welcoming baby. I love every bit. Fedotowsky Mano, who also shares 2-year-old daughter Molly Sullivan with husband Kevin Mano, said part of her inspiration behind the post was to share my insecurities with all of you and let you know that I'm human too. And look, everybody is different. I bounced back pretty quickly after I gave birth to Molly, she admitted. But things are different this time and I'm okay with that. I'm learning to love my body and embrace how it's changed, added the mother of 2. I hope I get back to my pre-pregnancy shape one day. Ollie Fedotowsky Mano is adjusting to life as a mother of 2. In a candid blog post detailing her rough week, the former baccalaureate star, 33, talked about staying home with her children son Riley Doran, 9 weeks, and daughter Molly Sullivan, 2 as husband Kevin Mano goes to work. Honestly, I find myself feeling angry at Kevin sometimes because he gets to go to work every day and get a break, Fedotowsky Mano wrote. I remember going to work after we had Molly and feeling like it was a vacation and not even work, she explained. And my mom's job at home is 10 times harder now that we have 2 kids. So I bet going to work will feel like a spa day once I go back. Want all the latest pregnancy and birth announcements, plus celebrity mom blogs? Click here to get those and more in the People Babies newsletter. Related gallery, Blue Jean Baby. See all the photos from Ollie Fedotowsky Mano's denim image shower. Fedotowsky Mano also wrote in her blog post that the family's part-time nanny had the week off, leaving the new mom of 2 feeling overwhelmed. Trying to keep up with my business endeavors, run my blog, and take care of my 2 small children has really proved to be the hardest thing I've ever done, she explained. I don't even know if I can say it's something I'm doing, because I feel like I'm not even accomplishing it. I just feel like I'm failing at it. She continued, yesterday was literally the first time I've showered in a week. And most of the time during this past week, I stayed in pajamas all day. In fact, there was one day where I wore pajamas to bed, then wore them all day the next day, then back to bed. And then for half of the next day. Gross, I know. Related video, former baccalaureate Ollie Fedotowsky Mano opens up about her biggest parenting mishap. Fedotowsky Mano has been open about her motherhood journey. In an Instagram post, she got candid about her thoughts on breastfeeding. I may have extra fat and loose skin around my belly, but that same body nourishes and comforts my child. Just another reason to love every inch of my body and how it has changed, she wrote. In another, she reflected on her post-baby body. She captioned a photo gallery. Surely, few people deserve a fabulous engagement ring more than Ashley Iaconetti. the Bachelor in Paradise alum who waited 3 long years for her happily ever after with Jared Haben. And now, after an emotional journey to forever romance, she has just that, a dazzling 2.4-carat diamond and platinum ring. Handmade by Neil Lane, the ring wowed Iaconetti, 30, when Haben, 29, recently proposed in Mexico during the upcoming season of BIP, the summer spin-off series where the Bachelor fan faves up and down relationship began in 2015. She lost her mind over the ring, says Lane, the go-to jeweler for the ABC franchises. And what's not to like? The romantic sparkler is set with a rectangular, radiant-cut center stone and surrounded by 86 smaller, full-cut diamonds. It's faceted on the bottom and very sparkly, very prismatic and flashy, he says. It's not subtle. Related, this is worth crying over, right? Ashley Iaconetti's most memorable weepy Bachelor moments with guidance from Haben. Lane made sure the ring reflected what he saw in his bride-to-be. Jared feels she is truly radiant and he wanted the diamonds to go around the center, a circle which reflects eternal love and a continual journey, says Lane, who had less than 3 weeks to design and make the ring. Related, Bachelor in Paradise's Ashley Iaconetti plans to start a family with Jared Haben at 32. While he's thrilled Iaconetti gave his handiwork the thumbs up, Lane is mostly pleased to see the pair have made it work. It's like their love has come full circle and is only growing, he says. For both Ashley and Jared, it was definitely worth the wait. Andy Cohen is sending Luann de Lesseps love and support as she returns to rehab. Hours after news broke that the Real Housewives of New York City star had checked herself into an alcohol treatment facility for the second time, Cohen spoke out about the matter on his SiriusXM show Radio Andy Live. Luann's making the decision that is healthy for herself and you can do nothing but support that, the Renee executive producer and Watch What Happens Live with Andy Cohen host said. She's been through it, he added. We send our love to Luann and support our decision. People broke the news exclusively about de Lesseps' return to rehab. Co-star Bethany Frankel had been authorized by de Lesseps to speak on her behalf. This weekend, Luann was surrounded by her girlfriends and decided with their support that in light of recent circumstances, it is the healthiest choice for her not to attend Tuesday's reunion taping so that she can continue in her healing process, Frankel said. Luann is now surrounded by a core group of people who truly have her best interests at heart and who are working to make sure she gets the help she needs. Bravo has been very supportive of Luann during this time. It's a brave and honest decision by her, and everyone is rallying around her and wants the best for her, Frankel added. The network confirmed that de Lesseps will not tape the season 10 reunion. Cohen said on Andy Cohen Live that de Lesseps' treatment will be discussed by the other housewives there, though. Renee also stars Ramona Singer, Sonia Morgan, Carol Radziwill, Doreen DeMedley and Tinsley Mortimer. We'll talk about it, he said. We will talk about it, said the network in a statement. Bravo supports Luann's decision to focus on her health. She is part of the Bravo family and we continue to stand by her as she copes with this challenging situation. At this time, we hope everyone will respect her privacy. It's been a tough few months for de Lesseps. The former countess was arrested in the early morning hours of December 24 and released on her own recognizance that same day after allegedly attacking a police officer in Palm Beach. She had been discovered trespassing in a hotel room with an unidentified man, according to a police report. The pair had allegedly entered the wrong room at the Colony Hotel in Palm Beach and refused to leave. Police say de Lesseps slammed a door and kicked at least one officer. She also allegedly told the police, "I'm going to kill you all." De Lesseps was charged with and pleaded not guilty to disorderly intoxication, battery on an officer/firefighter/EMT, resisting arrest with violence, and threatening a public servant, according to the Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office. She's since pleaded not guilty and rejected a plea deal in February. After her arrest, De Lesseps, who had gotten married to ex-husband Tom D'Agostino in Palm Beach on last New Year's Eve before their divorce 7 months later, released a statement, saying, "This was my first time in Palm Beach since my wedding, and being here brought up long-buried emotions. I want to offer my sincere apologies to anyone I might have offended with my behavior. I am committed to a transformative and hopeful 2018. After the events in Palm Beach, I am truly embarrassed," she added in another statement to People, as she checked herself into treatment in January. "I have decided to seek professional guidance and will be voluntarily checking into an alcohol treatment center. I intend to turn this unfortunate incident into a positive, life-changing event. Once again, I sincerely apologize for my actions. I have the greatest respect for police officers and the job they do. My actions alleged in the police report do not reflect my core values and my law-abiding character. I am so grateful for the love and support that I am receiving from my family, friends and loyal supporters," she continued. Related video, Luann de Lesseps sued by her 2 children and ex-husband over $8 million house sale just days ago. News broke that her first husband, Alexander de Lesseps, her daughter, Victoria de Lesseps, and son, Noel de Lesseps, filed a lawsuit against her over an $8 million house sale. According to court documents obtained by The Blast, she breached the stipulation of settlement in her divorce by failing to create a trust for the benefit of her 2 children. Frankel told People, recent additional family stress was a catalyst to Luann taking a break. The Skinny Girl founder also said that De Lesseps Pete Davidson couldn't believe his luck when he showed up to watch Ariana Grande shoot her music video for her new song God Is a Woman. The video, which at one point features the 25-year-old singer swimming around in a pool of paint while seemingly nude, was released on Friday, and in a behind-the-scenes clip posted by Grande, the Saturday Night Live star appears mesmerized by the action unfolding in front of his eyes. "OMG, now that the song's out I can show you this whole clip. SJSKSKSJSJS that face at Peta Davidson," the pint-sized powerhouse captioned the video, during which the 24-year-old comedian barely moves or blinks. Commenting on his facial expression, Davidson wrote that he was mesmerized. "Couldn't even believe what I was seeing," he added. Related, Pete Davidson praises Ariana Grande's topless photo as her ex Mac Miller raps about lost love following the release of the music video. Davidson shared a photograph of his fiancée paying tribute to his late father Scott, who died during the September 11, 2001 terrorist attacks in New York City, by wearing his FNI badge. Grande has previously honored his father by getting his badge number 8418 tattooed on the top of her foot. Davidson has the same numbers inked on his left forearm. Related, Ariana Grande and Pete Davidson's most TMI, PDA-filled moments, ranked. He also defended Grande after one Instagram user commented that no girl should ever wear your dad's chain, adding that it was so disrespectful. "For her information, that's not just some girl, that's my fiancé," Davidson wrote back in a comment screen grabbed by fans and shared on social media. "She's the greatest person I know. I gave it to her because she has my heart, and that is the most precious thing I own. My dad would be so happy and love her so much." Grande left a comment too, telling Davidson, "I love you more than anything." Earlier on Friday, Davidson praised Grant's latest release on Insta. Luann Jr. and Lauren Burnham just celebrated another relationship milestone, sharing their engagement photos with the world. With just 6 months to go before the bachelor couple tie the knot in Hawaii, Luann Jr., 36, and Burnham, 26, posted 2 photos from their romantic engagement photo shoot on Saturday. One step closer to the wedding. This is what life is all about, sharing these amazing moments with her, Luann Jr. wrote alongside a shot of the pair sharing a laugh while cuddling up together in an open field. Under 6 months until the big day. The former Bachelor star enthusiastically added. Burnham also shared a photo taken from the same shoot of her husband to be giving her a tender kiss on the forehead. "It's now just under 6 months till I marry this sweet man. He's been the biggest blessing in my life every single day," she wrote alongside the image, in which she also showed off her 3.5-carat diamond sparkler. #True Loveones, she added. Related, it's official. The Bachelor's Luann Jr. and Lauren Burnham to wed in Hawaii next year. Just 3 weeks earlier, the couple also celebrated another relationship milestone, buying their first home together. Officially new homeowners. Luann Jr., 36, captioned a smiling shot in which his bride-to-be holds up their keys. "ANNNND, I have blue pants to match our door." After embarking on a romantic Euro trip, where the happy couple explored Barcelona and Iceland, Burnham headed to Scottsdale, Arizona, with her fiancé in March, taking a road trip from her place in Virginia with all of her belongings and her dog. They documented their house hunting journey in GQ last month, revealing Luann Jr.'s condo was not working out, partly due to nosy neighbors. "It's not fun having pictures of you in your pajamas showing up on the internet," Burnham told the outlet. Burnham and Luann Jr., who proposed to the current Bachelorette star Becca Kufrin before changing his mind and pursuing a relationship with Burnham, who was his runner-up, recently announced that their wedding will take place early next year in Hawaii. "We are very excited to tell you guys that we have booked a venue," said Burnham during an appearance on The View last month. "We're getting married in Hawaii on January 12 next year. It's in Maui. It's at Haiku Mill, which has this beautiful, old-world feel with a lot of vines and greenery," added Luann Jr. "It's not your typical beach wedding. And it's a private wedding, so not on TV, just a close group of friends. Probably 100 guests." Related, will the Bachelor's Ari and Lauren watch as Becca's season of The Bachelorette? Asked whether they felt like they were. Ashley Iaconetti and Jared Haben just got engaged last month, but the Bachelor in Paradise alums are already thinking about their big day. "About a year would be a nice time," Iaconetti, 30, tells People exclusively in its latest issue. "We're both definitely on par with a bigger wedding. We've always imagined that." Haben admits he had already been planning to propose 4 weeks before they headed to the set of Bachelor in Paradise in June. "I knew since we started dating that this wasn't just a boyfriend-girlfriend relationship," he says. "I knew from day one, I'm going to propose." Haben, who asked her parents for their blessing ahead of time, had previously told Iaconetti he wanted to go back to Paradise and make it right. "I was definitely nervous," says Haben about the romantic proposal. Adds Iaconetti, "He did a great job hiding whatever nerves he had. He was not showing any red flags as to what he was going to do that day. There is not a thing I would change. There were plenty of tears, so many tears." Related, Bachelor in Paradise's Ashley Iaconetti reveals if she and Jared Haben would get married on TV, while the couple, who first met 3 years ago on Bachelor in Paradise, are still researching venues and thinking about their guest list. There's one aspect of the wedding they're both on board with: they're efficient. "We want Tanner Tolbert to officiate the wedding," says Haben, 29, about his pal. "Tanner and Jade have been the couple that we were closest to within the Bachelor family. Tanner's been so intricate in our relationship the past couple years." Indeed, Tolbert encouraged Haben to come clean to Iaconetti about his feelings for her, and he was the one who really supported me, says the Help I Suck at Dating podcast co-host. After Iaconetti and Haben revealed they had been secretly dating on the entertainment host's digital series The Story of Us, the pair have been happily nesting in Los Angeles and planning for their future together. "I just know that I want to start trying to have kids at 32, says Iaconetti. Adds Haben, "We're engaged now, so we'll get to the wedding and then maybe pop out a couple kids." While Haben admits he has a few regrets about his up-and-down friendship with Iaconetti over the years, the reality stars believe everything happened the way it was supposed to. "It's this weird way of looking at it because I wish I could have been better, or at least just really expressed myself better in a lot of moments over the past 3 years," he says. "We've been able to overcome a lot of obstacles in our own lives over the past couple years because our friendship has been so strong. I wonder if we were a couple at any point over the past couple years, if we would have been able to overcome them." For all the details on Ashley Iaconetti and Jared Haben's plans for the future, pick up the latest issue of People on newsstands Friday. Now with a stunning Neil Lane engagement ring securely on Iaconetti's finger, Haben can't imagine life without his fiancée by his side. "I have such an appreciation for Ashley," he says. "I've always loved her as a human being and as my close friend. But everything that's happened over the past 6 months gives me an appreciation towards her that I don't think I could have ever felt if we just started dating after season 2 of Paradise. Every time I look at her I feel so grateful that she's by." If anyone knows a thing or two about talking about their virginity on national television, it's Ashley Iaconetti. The Bachelor in Paradise alum made headlines back in 2015 when she revealed she was a virgin while competing on Chris Sewell's season of The Bachelor. And this week, Colton Underwood became the latest franchise contestant to speak candidly about his virginity when he disclosed the information to Becca Kufrin on Monday night's episode of The Bachelorette. While discussing the episode during an appearance on Access Tuesday, Iaconetti, 30, said she felt a lot of sympathy for Colton in that moment. "I am definitely used to talking about it on camera and it is so hard," she said. "You really don't even have any idea how awkward it is to talk about that and reveal that on camera unless you've done it. I said it to Chris Sewell on that season and I have to be honest, I didn't think that he thought it was very attractive," she recalled. "I think he stopped looking at me as a sexual object at that point. I felt a change in our relationship. I do not think that is the case in this situation at all, but what I am really tired of is the show making it seem like such a big deal, such a big reveal, like it's even something we have to talk about at this point in a relationship. But mainly what I find so frustrating is that they keep making it seem, time and time again, like it's a reason for some romantic development to stop." Related, The Bachelorette's Colton Underwood on his virginity, "I considered it a gift and a curse nevertheless." Iaconetti, now engaged to her fellow Paradise alum Jared Haben, said she's glad she was open about her own story. "As awkward as it is talking about it on the show, I'm so glad that I was maybe forced into talking about it a little bit," she said. "Because the amount of people who have come up to me and said, 'Thank you for making me not feel alone, thank you for making me feel cool and normal, and now Colton as a hot guy saying this? It's going to make so many other people feel normal.'" On the show, Underwood's big reveal came during a one-on-one date with Cohen. Visibly nervous, he explained that he's not waiting until marriage to have sex or holding off for religious reasons, but that he simply hasn't met the right person yet. Though Cohen initially excused herself to gather her thoughts, she later returned and offered him a rose, guaranteeing him a hometown date on next week's episode. Related video: Bachelor in Paradise's Ashley Iaconetti and Jared Haben are engaged. Many fans took issue with Cohen's on-screen reaction, but according to Iaconetti, it was simply the product of some clever editing. "I don't call the show out for editing very much, but it was definitely edited," and Becca even tweeted, "I'm pretty sure I had to go to the bathroom," she said on Access. She definitely didn't get up at that point. She probably didn't walk around unless asked. Underwood has also defended Cohen's televised reaction to his reveal. "Can confirm. There was zero intent to be disrespectful. I definitely did not take it that way," he tweeted in response to her tweet that she got up to go to the bathroom. The Bachelorette airs Mondays. Thomas Ravenel's girlfriend Ashley Jacobs may not have a good relationship with his ex-Catherine Dennis, but she's still a part of their two kids' lives. In an exclusive interview, Jacobs, 33, tells People that despite their very public feud on Season 5 of Southern Charm and Dennis' request at Thursday's reunion that Jacobs not spend time with daughter Kenzie, 4, and son Saint, 2½ she still spends time with them. "It's great," Jacobs says. "I hear a lot of the rumors of I'm not allowed around the kids, and that's not true. I am allowed around the kids, and I see them a lot. Thomas gets them 50-50, and before he had them more than that, so it's inevitable. I'm going to be around them when I'm with him. They're sweet, sweet children," she adds. "And very loving and happy." Related, Thomas Ravenel and Ashley Jacobs are still dating. Inside their Southern Charm romance, Jacobs and Dennis, 26, clashed throughout this season of Southern Charm, with Jacobs often criticizing Dennis' parenting. Among her insults, referring to Dennis as an egg donor, saying her kids weren't planned on, insulting her parenting style, suggesting Dennis was on drugs, and claiming she sees Ravenel's kids more than Dennis does, all words she said stood by, but somewhat apologized for, when asked about them at the reunion. Nevertheless, Jacobs made it clear to People she's not trying to replace Dennis. "Catherine's very protective of her children, and I'm not trying to fill any role other than being fun, loving, cool, and silly," Jacobs explains. "I'm like a babysitter. I walk in the house and they're like, throw me on the bed, throw me on the couch, bring me around, let's draw, let's go on the swings, put on a movie. That's my relationship." Whatever anger she has towards Dennis doesn't carry over when she's around the children, either. "I'm not harmful, I don't speak badly, I don't do anything that you see on TV that would make you think that I would be that way to these children," Jacobs says. They are innocent in all of this. It should come as no surprise that Jacobs and Dennis haven't repaired their relationship. "I actually asked her if she would ever want to get together and talk coffee, lunch, my treat," Jacobs recalls, explaining she ran into Dennis at a restaurant. Catherine said no. Ideally, Jacobs says she wants to be in a position with Dennis where the two are cordial, focused on forgiveness and moving forward. "I mean, I said things to her that obviously she's very hurt by, understandably, right? So I don't think I'm her favorite person," Jacobs admits. "I have to try to put herself in my position. If she was doing that to me, if it were reverse, would I want to sit down with her? Would I want to make time for her? Is it too soon? Personally, I don't like to have enemies. I need closure. I want things to be on good terms." Even if we are not best friends, I want there to be an opening for something, Jacobs continues. It would make life easier, not to be full of anger and hate and frustration. It's uncomfortable for me, it's uncomfortable for her, it's uncomfortable for Thomas, and it's uncomfortable for the children, and that's the priority. I want to get on that path to be cordial, to see her out and be able to say hi and have a friendly conversation. Does that mean Jacobs would apologize for what she said? Yes, I'd like that opportunity to apologize, but I don't think she'd ever probably take me that seriously, she says. I forgive very easily, but I have to understand that we're different people. Just because I'm able to do that, doesn't mean she can or she wants to. And it's been hard for me to apologize because I don't think she really cares. And even if I do apologize and do try to make friends, I don't really trust that it will stick. She just doesn't think I'm going to be here much longer, Jacobs admits. That makes sense. Why invest in something? She keeps saying, you're not going to be here that long anyway. If there was an engagement, if there was marriage, if there was a baby, not that Thomas and I are at that stage yet, but I think Catherine would treat me differently. Like, she is here to stay, let's try to mend this. Is Ravenel, 55, helping them negotiate peace in the meantime? Thomas still talks to her, occasionally, and I think here and there, they might bring me up briefly, says Jacobs. He has tried. He has tried. I want to hug it out, but he says she's not there. He says she thinks it's like funny, or blows it off, or rolls her eyes when he brings it up. He goes, she's not forgiving. She's not going to forgive you. Related video, Cameron Eubanks reveals she gained almost 40 pounds while pregnant. Meanwhile, Dennis has found a way to put her anger towards Ravenel aside. They dated on and off for a few years before ending their relationship in 2016. Although their early relationship was marked by explosive outbursts, unexpected reconciliations, a contentious custody battle and accusations running the gamut from cheating to drug abuse, the two have made peace to put their children first. They put on a united front at Saint's second birthday party and celebrated Kenzie's dance recital together in June. They've also been sharing photos and videos with their kids together this summer, at beach gatherings and at home. Chrissy Teigen and John Legend are setting sail. Just days after Legend scored Emmy nominations that could lead him to becoming an EGOT, the parents of two took to the high seas in homage to the Bravo series Below Deck. The couple and their pals made waves in nautical outfits and put together their own take on the Love Boat's opening sequence, mixed with Easter eggs from the reality series. Teigen ran a tight ship as the chief stew, while Legend played the captain in the clip, which the mom of two captioned, Below Deck, Malibu. Pal and hairstylist Jen Atkin poked fun at Below Deck's Cassie as a vomiting third stewardess, while her husband Mike Rosenthal was bosun. Legend provided the backing vocals, as his smooth tones crooned the lyrics of the Love Boat's theme alongside the humorous remake. Teigen summarized the hilarious clip on Twitter, writing, "By far the dumbest thing we have ever done," to which Atkin replied, "Ugh, nope, we've done dumber." Teigen is a longtime fan of Below Deck. Last year, she shared on Snapchat that her vacation fashion was inspired by the stars of the show's yacht style. Earlier this month, she posted a picture alongside Below Deck Mediterranean's Hannah Ferrier and tweeted, "I just saw Hannah from Below Deck, let me tell you, I am shaking." Added Teigen of the moment, "I so rarely ask people for photos. Thank you at Hannah Ferrier." Tinley Molson is a married woman. the Bachelor alum who was the runner-up on Jake Pavelka's season in 2010 and went on to appear on Bachelor in Paradise in 2015, tied the knot with Taylor Leopold on April 27, 2018, at Shea Balliet in San Marcos, California. Their romantic backyard nuptials are featured in this month's issue of Martha Stewart Weddings, with Molson, 34, sharing all the adorable details, from the color palette, terracotta, citron, grays, and blush pink, to the cake, gluten-free chocolate with salted caramel frosting. The intimate ceremony, officiated by a good friend, took place in front of just 77 guests, with Molson's mom and dad walking her down the aisle together. I asked both of my parents to walk with me because their 36 years of marriage and their daily choices have been a great example of love and marriage to me, Molson told the magazine. They have walked through some really hard times with me and have been major pillars in my life and in my journey to getting to marry Taylor. It felt appropriate to have them both by my side. For the big day, Molson wore a lace Lillian West gown with a sweetheart neckline, mermaid silhouette, and chapel-length train, and carried an oak and the owl bouquet of roses, fritillaria, butterfly ranunculus and peonies. "It's an unexplainable feeling that I've never had before," Leopold said of seeing his bride-to-be. "The power of the moment and the day were all coming down to that very moment. That moment pivots and changes your life and history of life after. And you feel the power of that moment and it just takes over." The couple exchanged traditional vows. "Our faith is super important to us, so the message and words spoken between us were very Christ-centered," said Molson, "and their wedding bands, hers a simple gold one with pavé diamonds and his, one that belonged to his late grandfather." At the cocktail hour post-ceremony, guests were offered mostly gluten-free bites and 4 signature drinks, including one aptly named The Final Rose, a nod to Molson's time on The Bachelor. The newlyweds spent part of their cocktail hour taking portraits and, of course, enjoying their first minutes as husband and wife. For their first dance, they chose Sturgill Simpson's The Promise. Becca Kufrin vied for Ari Lyendrick Jr.'s heart on Season 8 of The Bachelor. Now, she's on her own journey to find love on the latest season of The Bachelorette, and she's blogging about it exclusively for People. Follow Becca on Twitter at @thebkoof. Welcome to the Bahamas. I couldn't wait to get this week and all the dates started. With each day this journey gets more serious, and this week especially took on a whole new meaning because hometowns were right around the corner. I've said it many times before, but family is the most important thing to me, and I want a partner who feels that same importance in meeting family. I couldn't believe that pretty soon I'd be doing just that. And 4 times. By this time, I was falling for multiple guys. So I knew that heading into this week with no rose ceremony, I had to really evaluate each relationship before giving out a rose. My first date of the week was with Colton. The Bahamas is a beautiful place, but half of that beauty is found in the clear warm ocean that surrounds the islands. So what better way to explore than a luxury catamaran? Colton always seemed put together and buttoned up, so I was really looking forward to seeing a more relaxed version of him. Little did we know too much conch would be involved. When action pulled up on that bright yellow boat, I knew we were in for a treat. Not only did he teach us how to get deep to find the conch, but also how to find the pistol. Or as he calls it, the Bahamian Viagra of the sea. Getting that conch was a lot harder than expected. Sorry for all the innuendos, Mom, but it was seriously the most fun afternoon. By the end of the day, we were exhausted from diving into the ocean and so ready to dive deeper into our relationship. Related video, Tia Booth sets the record straight about her history with the Bachelorette's Colton Underwood. Heading into my evening with Colton, I was eager to continue the amazing time we were having sans seafood. When he opened up and told me that he was still a virgin, I was surprised. I took a moment to myself to think. To me, virginity is a meaningful thing, and I respect him for holding that so sacred. That being said, I am taking this process very seriously, and I know Colton is as well. It was something I needed a moment to think about, with hometowns and eventually fantasy suite right around the corner. I would never judge someone for being a virgin. In this journey, though, I have multiple relationships, and so I wanted to be certain that Colton and I had a future before continuing a physical and emotional relationship. I know how much weight that holds. I was confident that what Colton and I had was real, and so I was ready to take our relationship to the next level at our own speed. I was glad that Colton was able to be so vulnerable with me. And giving out that first rose for hometowns made me feel so hopeful with what the next week meeting families would bring. Moving into my next date of the week with Garrett, I was really excited. Our first one-on-one back in Park City was one of the best first dates I've had, and I only hoped that the momentum would continue. Garrett always made me feel so vibrant and youthful, so this date would be the perfect day to keep those feelings alive. Being on the seaplane was breathtaking. Flying above the crystal blue water was a moment I'll never forget. I knew Garrett would appreciate it since he loved adventure. All day long we played in the sand and swam until our fingers and toes were prune white. Garrett even built me a sandcastle dream house that we would live in one day. It was so creative and really made me see how great of a dad and husband he could be. I still had questions about what he was ready for, though. Was there more depth to our relationship other than the chemistry? That evening Garrett was able to open up and give me so much more than I expected. He was able to be so open about his past relationship, and I so appreciated his honesty. But when he continued to tell me he was falling in love with me, I knew in that moment I saw a future with him as well. This was one of the best dates of my life and I couldn't wait to meet his family. Related video. The bachelorette's Chris tries to talk to Becca, but when there's a will, there's not always a way. My last one-on-one of the week with Blake was a long time coming. I remember being in his shoes last year and getting that very first one-on-one and wondering when my next date would be. It's a nerve-wracking, intense feeling watching others go on dates week after week, wishing it were you. I always felt so confident in Blake and our relationship, but this date was leading into hometowns. So I wanted to be absolutely sure. Now, what you didn't see was that when Blake and I first met up we went horseback riding along the beach. And after our first meeting ever on after the final rose, I couldn't take anyone other than Blake, could I? But the best part of our day was the beach party with the Baha men. Now I have to say, I never knew Blake could dance like that. Apparently, he took swing dancing lessons, and now I'm a firm believer that every man should. Fellas, take it from me, ladies love it. I have never felt more alive on a date. Heading into that evening, I was ready to continue the connection we started from our very first date. I knew if what Blake was feeling for me was like what I was feeling for him, then that third rose was definitely going to be taken after the night. To hear more about his family life and how difficult his parents' divorce had been for him tugged at my heartstrings. I'm glad to have made him feel comfortable and at ease to share that. When he told me that he loved me, I felt like my heart was about to leap right out of my chest. What he didn't know was I was starting to feel the same exact way about him. Going into the last date of the week with just one more rose to give out weighed heavily on me. After going through the treacherous 2-on-1 date back in Vegas, I knew I'd have to put on a brave face for Leo, Wills and Jason. But as the day went on and we played beach volleyball, we all had such a great time, I didn't know how I could make the choice. After a pretty close game where I proved my athletic abilities weren't totally useless, I was excited to sit down with each guy so that I could find clarity to help me make the tough decisions that were ahead. Wills and Jason brought so much to each conversation, and I knew in my gut then and there that what I had with Leo just didn't match the feelings I felt with those other two men. When I sat with Leo, I knew that we were on the same page. Leo is a funny, kind and gentle man. He was someone who I could see a future with. It was just a little hazier than with some of the other guys left. I knew at that point that it was time for us to part ways. It was hard saying goodbye to him, but I knew that our lives just weren't aligning quite like both of us had hoped. He was one of the most respectable men, and it was probably the most mutual breakup I've ever had. Leo became someone important to me and someone who I really hope to continue a friendship with. Related video: is Jason a baccalaureate frontrunner? Brandy Cyrus thinks they have an authentic relationship heading into dinner that night. I hadn't felt that torn or anxious this entire journey. I didn't know how I would make the decision to give out that last rose, and I was praying that I would find the clarity and make the right decision. Both Wills and Jason brought different emotions and feelings into the evening. Wills by nature is very open and wears his heart on his sleeve. Jason is much more pragmatic, but brings so much charisma and passion to our relationship. I was being pulled in two different directions. By the end of the night, it came down to who would I still think about if I sent one home. Who could I not see myself without, and who I felt ready to meet their family with. I knew then that it was Jason. But saying goodbye to Wills after all he opened up about was by far the hardest goodbye I've had yet. Wills was someone who I could laugh with, nerd out with, and who I felt so comfortable being myself with. He just wasn't the one for me at the end of this. While our goodbye was truly heartbreaking, it gives me joy to confirm that, ladies, this isn't the last you'll be seeing of him. Yes, Wills is heading to paradise. To all my girlfriends who will be heading to Mexico this summer, keep your eyes out for Wills. He's one of the good. Former Bad Girls Club star Sinead Claremont is facing serious criminal charges after she was arrested on Wednesday. Sinead, who is one half of the Instagram-famous Claremont twins with sister Shannon, is accused of stealing a debit card from a man who died after a prostitution date with her and spending tens of thousands of dollars, according to a release from the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Southern District of New York. The reality star and her sister also serve as two of Kanye West's muses, having started multiple Yeezy campaigns including being Kim Kardashian clones. Sinead, 24, was charged with wire fraud, access device fraud and aggravated identity theft, the attorney's office said in the release. A rep for Claremont did not immediately respond to People's request for comment. The model allegedly stole and used two debit cards belonging to a man who was found dead the day after paying her for her services, the attorney's office alleged in their release. The unidentified man died from a drug overdose in his Manhattan apartment. Text messages obtained by prosecutors allegedly show a conversation between the victim and Claremont in which they agreed their encounter would cost $400. According to the Associated Press. Sinead allegedly used his identity and two of his debit cards to pay her rent and phone bills, as well as to pay for flights and other online purchases for clothes that were in the thousands of dollars. The reality star created a fake email account posing as the victim in which she registered it for a Western Union account and allegedly initiated a money transfer of $1,000 to her actual name, the U.S. Attorney's Office claims. She has been charged with 1 count of conspiracy to commit wire fraud, which comes with a maximum sentence of 20 years in prison. Her other charges include 1 count of access fraud, 15 years in prison, and 1 count of aggravated identity theft, which has a minimum sentence of 2 years in prison. As alleged, Sinead Claremont, a former cast member of the Bad Girls Club, lived up to her reality series reputation, U.S. Attorney Jeffrey S. Berman said in the statement. Thanks to the skilled investigative work of the NYPD, Claremont's new reality is federal prosecution for her alleged nefarious conduct. Sinead and her twin Shannon were both featured in Wes Searcy's Season 6 campaign and posed as his wife in several designs she had previously been photographed in. They were a part of Yeezy Again for the rapper's NSFW Supermoon campaign in June, in which they again posed as Kylie Jenner isn't the only celebrity who has changed her mind about lip fillers. Real Housewives of Beverly Hills star and soap opera actress Lisa Rinna has been very open about her plastic surgery choices, mainly her decision to plump her pout with injections. And just like Jenner, who just revealed she got rid of all her fillers, Rinna made the decision to switch back to her original look after some time. While Jenner had temporary fillers, Rinna had permanent silicone filler injected into her top lip, not the bottom, which she initially loved, but eventually had reduced after facing criticism for her appearance. I was crazy to even touch them in the first place, Rinna told People in 2010. But after seeing Barbara Hershey's full pout in the 1988 film Beaches, the then 23-year-old signed up for the permanent plumper. In total, she had 4 injections. In the beginning, it was great, she recalled. But after about 10 years, the silicone started seeping throughout her lip and creating scar tissue that was hard and bumpy, like peas. She later tried cortisone shots to reduce the swelling, but instead it made them look worse, Rinna said. I'd get photographed, my lips would look a certain way, and then people would start to talk, Rinna added. Although Rinna had long been told her mouth was beyond repair, Beverly Hills plastic surgeon Garth Fisher shocked her with the news that he could reconstruct her upper lip by removing some of the damaged tissue and reshaping what was left. I was dumbfounded, Rinna said at the time. Then I started to get really excited. Looking for more style content? Click here to subscribe to the PO Plus Style newsletter for amazing shopping discounts, can't live without beauty products and more. And just 2 months after her lip reduction surgery, Rinna and her husband Harry Hamling loved her more natural look. You can see my teeth when I smile now, which you couldn't do for a while. I've been smiling these big smiles, she said. And though Fisher says it will take up to 6 months for all the swelling to disappear, Rinna says there's already a huge difference. My lip is back to being smooth. Related photos, updated. Stars who love their plastic surgery, her husband said, whatever change took place was so gradual, it never registered for me, Hamling told People, adding that when kissing his wife, her mouth always felt soft and supple. Since her lip reduction surgery, Rinna hasn't opened up about whether or not she's tried experimenting with temporary collagen or hyaluronic acid-based fillers instead, but the star did have a keen eye for the Kylie Cosmetics mogul's injections before Jenner ever admitted to getting hers done. During a January 2015 appearance on What Happens Live with Andy Cohen, Rinna said she had a feeling Jenner was getting her lips injected when asked. Billy Bush's wife Sydney Davis has filed for divorce after months of separation. Davis cited irreconcilable differences and asked for joint legal custody and primary physical custody of 2 of their children, according to TMZ. She is also requesting spousal support, the outlet reported. The 2 have 3 children together. Josie, 19, Mary, 17, and Lily, 13. A rep for Bush did not immediately respond to people's request for comment. The estranged couple married in April 1998 but announced their separation in September 2017 in a statement to People. After almost 20 years of marriage, they have separated for the moment to evaluate their life together. They love each other and their children deeply and are committed to a bright future. Bush's lawyer, Marshall Grossman, also confirmed their separation to People at the time, saying the two were on a short-term break. Their split came nearly a year after Bush was abruptly fired from the Today Show after a videotape was leaked to The Washington Post, in which then-apprentice host Donald Trump bragged to Bush about groping women. Related, Billy Bush opens up about rebuilding his life after the Trump scandal destroyed his career in January. Bush spoke to People about the impact the scandal had on his career and marriage. "I was ashamed and embarrassed," he said at the time. "And then I went through stages of grieving because I lost my career. For a man, that's the ultimate degradation." The release of the tapes completely blindsided him. "I was a happy-go-lucky guy," Bush said. "Everything is going great and I was like, hey, this is awesome. And then, kaboom." Related, Billy Bush and wife Sidney Davis separating after nearly 20 years of marriage. Despite Bush and Davis struggling at the time, he remained hopeful that their marriage could find its next leg even after they experienced difficulties, even before he began working at Today. "We got married young and had our first child right away," he said at the time. "We're taking a step back. We get to explore." And Brandi Glanville is opening up about how she and LeAnn Rimes were able to put the past behind them. "We were having a birthday party just recently and we got into a really serious conversation," Glanville, 45, said during Thursday's episode of Spencer and Heidi Pratt's Make Spidey Famous Again podcast. "We just kind of had it out about what is right, what is wrong, what's better for the kids, and what bothered me and what bothered her," she continued, adding that it was hours of conversation, and it wasn't all pleasant. Glanville was previously married to Rimes' current husband Eddie Cibrian, 45, with whom the former Real Housewives of Beverly Hills star shares two children, sons Mason, 14, and Jake, 11. In 2009, Cibrian filed for divorce from Glanville, shortly after going public with his relationship with Rimes, now 35. 2 years later, Cibrian and Rimes tied the knot. While Glanville admitted that she and Rimes are still not always going to agree on everything, she said the kids were so happy that day, because I actually got to go inside Rimes and Cibrian's house. They love her and she loves them. It's like everyone's happy. I think the hardest part was just her and I going at it, and now that that's done, the kids are super happy. They've never been happier," she added. Related, Brandi Glanville buddies up with LeAnn Rimes while celebrating son's birthday. Peace. While Glanville didn't go into detail about exactly when the pair buried the hatchet, in April she shared a photograph of herself cozying up to Rimes while both women celebrated Glanville and Cibrian's son Jake's 11th birthday. "Peace and #Calabastard hanging for Jake's day," the reality star captioned the shot on Instagram. On the podcast, Glanville reflected on how "I did threaten to kill her one time, just once. Imagining another woman holding your baby, and you walk up to see your older son's soccer game and this is brand new and she's holding your baby, who's still a baby," she said. "And I walked up and I grabbed Jake so hard and said, 'I'll kill you if you touch my baby ever again.' But now it's like fine. I always say if you can't beat them, join them," Glanville continued. "She's always going to post family photos. She's always gonna say my boys. She's always gonna do that and I just have to accept it or I can continue to fight with her, which I don't want to do. It took me a long time and I'm finally like, you know what, at least they love her, she added. While speaking about her relationship with Rhymes and Cibrian in 2016, Glanville said that how no matter, they had to prioritize their kids over their drama. We have to be a unit, three of us, Glanville said on SiriusXM's Conversations with Maria Menounos. As the kids are getting older, something did happen with one of them, and I don't really want to go into it, but it made the three of us, Eddie, Leanne and myself, realize we have to be together on this. Glanville also shared that while they weren't ready to start spending holidays together, they did. It's Britney, bitch. Tuesday night, Britney Spears took the stage for the second sold-out show of her Piece of Me tour at Radio City Music Hall and people was there. For nearly 2 hours the pop icon delighted fans, unleashing a non-stop medley of numbers from her modern classic canon of hits, giving a shout-out to the Queen of Pop and even bringing out a surprise guest. After opening the show with Work Bitch and Womanizer, she addressed the crowd and reminisced on her last performance in the legendary venue. This is my favorite city, the Big Apple. How you guys doing? The last time I was on this stage, I kissed a girl, her name was Madonna. Spears said, eliciting "Yes Queens" from the audience while referencing her then shocking lip lock during a performance with Madge at the 2003 VMAs. Related. It's Britney bitch. Britney Spears cracks up as fan quips who is it? Ahead of opening line following her trip down memory lane, the consummate entertainer seamlessly breezed through smashes from her nearly 20-year career, from Baby One More Time and Oops, I Did It Again, to Gimme More and Me Against the Music, which included the choreography from her music video with Madonna. After a slew of costume changes and a nostalgia-fueled dance break to some Missy Elliott hits old, including Work It and Get Her Freak On, Spears summoned a special guest to join her on stage, a steamy performance of her blackout-era fan-favorite freak show, Andy Cohen. Related. Britney Spears excited to be back as she kicks off Piece of Me tour in Maryland. Spears, as she famously did with a different man each night during her long-running Las Vegas residency, led a harness-clad Cohen around the stage on a leash and spanked him. When the song ended, Spears presented Cohen with a tour t-shirt and asked the crowd to give him some love. I think you all know who this is. Give it up for him, she said. Thank you. Oh yeah, a t-shirt, of course. Oh my goodness, awesome. Cool. As the show wound down, Spears finished strong with another melange of sonic confections, ending the electric show with Toxic, Stronger, You Drive Me Crazy, Until the World Ends, as confetti rained from Radio City's Art Deco ceiling. Related. Britney Spears is switching up her workout routine to prep for the Piece of Me tour. The Asia leg of the tour wrapped July 3rd. The North American dates will conclude next week with 3 shows in Hollywood, and Spears will play across Europe August 4th–September 1st. Spears's Piece of Me tour is her first time out on the road since her 2009 circus run. Her latest outing follows her 4-year Las Vegas residency at the Coliseum at Caesars Palace, which wrapped last December. Carol Rajaville's decision to leave The Real Housewives of New York City may not have just been about getting back to her career in journalism and producing. People has learned that her ongoing feud with Bethany Frankel influenced her choice, as indicated by the portion of her statement in which she said she was thrilled to leave frenemies behind. In Ronnie's 10th season, the former BFFs have had a very strained relationship, which Frankel has said made filming the show challenging for her. As a result of the animosity between them, Rajaville's departure from the Bravo reality series may be for the best, sources say. They never seemed to be able to reconcile. The show couldn't go on another season with both of them at each other's throats. And Bethany's a nog. She's been there since the beginning. She's a piece of work, but she gives the show a lot of energy, a source tells People. There's no way they're going to do it without her. Last time she left, the show went to hell. The source continues, keeping Bethany happy will always be top priority the same way it is with Lisa Vanderpump, Teresa Giudice, and Nene Leakes. So if it came down to one or the other, you can guess who producers would pick. However, one production source insists that as far as producers are concerned, Rajaville could have chosen to stay. She was not pushed to leave. She left on her own accord. Despite her disagreements with Frankel, Rajaville maintained a solid relationship with the rest of the Renee cast, including Tinsley Mortimer, Ramona Singer, Doreen DeMedley, Sonia Morgan, and Luann de Lesseps. Rajaville's sudden departure, after 5 seasons on the show, has hit her other co-stars hard. The rest of the cast is all freaked out about the negative energy and upset to see Carol go, a third source tells People. She was the one sane voice who was cool, calm and collected. Rajaville announced her impending exit from the series in a statement to People on Wednesday, saying, "After 6 seasons on Bravo's Renee, I have decided to return to what I do best: journalism and producing. I am sure this does not come as a surprise to any of the viewers, all of whom have been supportive, encouraging, and kind. My original curiosity about reality television has waned over the years, and I am focusing on TV and writing projects that better suit my more steady temperament." Carol Rajaville is saying goodbye to Bravo's The Real Housewives of New York City. The 54-year-old award-winning journalist and best-selling author will depart the hit reality series, which she joined in Season 5, she revealed exclusively to People. "After 6 seasons on Bravo's Renee, I have decided to return to what I do best: journalism and producing," Rajaville told People in a statement. "I am sure this does not come as a surprise to any of the viewers, all of whom have been supportive, encouraging, and kind," she added. "My original curiosity about reality television has waned over the years, and I am focusing on TV and writing projects that better suit my more steady temperament." She ended her statement with sincerity and wit. "I have worked with amazing producers, made great friends, and I'm thrilled to leave frenemies behind," Rajaville wrote. "I will remember this entire experience with delight, humor, and a veracious accuracy." Next. Rajaville's run on Renee began amid a major shakeup. Original cast members Bethany Frankel, Jill Zarin and Alex McCord had departed, as had Kelly Killer and Ben Simon. Frankel left to focus on her then-husband Jason Hoppy, their new daughter Brynn, and her self-titled talk show, but returned in Season 7. She forged a quick friendship with Rajaville, who at that point had proved herself as a loyal friend and fierce foe, bonding with housewives like Heather Thompson while taking on critics like Aviva Drescher and de Lesseps. In Renee's 10th season, airing now, Rajaville has had a pretty epic fallout with Frankel, though she's remained on good terms with Tinsley Mortimer, Ramona Singer, Doreen DeMedley, Sonia Morgan and de Lesseps. She's also in an on-again, off-again relationship with chef and filmmaker Adam Kenworthy. Related video: The Real Housewives of New York City go makeup-free for People's beautiful issue. Of course, off the show, Rajaville has had a noteworthy life. She began her career in journalism as an intern at ABC News 2020. Rajaville would eventually work with Peter Jennings, producing segments on gun control, abortion, and foreign policy. Trips around the world to places like India, Cambodia and Haiti followed. She spent weeks stationed in Iraq, covering the Scud missile attacks during the 1991 Gulf War, and in Kandahar, embedded with an infantry unit of the 101st Airborne Division during the War on Afghanistan. For her work, Rajavil has won 3 Emmys and a Peabody. Most tragically, though, there was the death of Rajavil's husband Anthony, who died in 1999 after a 5-year battle with cancer. The only son of Prince Stanislas Rajavil and Caroline Lee Bouvier, Anthony had a close relationship with his cousin John F. Kennedy, Jr. In turn, Carol bonded closely with him and JFK, Jr.'s wife Carolyn Kennedy before their untimely death in a plane crash off the coast of Martha's Vineyard in 1999. Anthony would die 4 weeks later. In the wake of the loss, Rajavil turned to her writing. She penned the best-selling memoir What Remains, a memoir of fate, friendship and love. Nev Schulman is doing his best to move on after facing allegations of sexual misconduct on his hit show Catfish, the TV show. In June, MTV closed an internal investigation after a woman who previously appeared on the show accused Schulman of making inappropriate and sexual comments toward her while filming. MTV said the claims were found to be not credible and without merit. "I'm doing much better now," he tells People. "It was a really difficult time for me, as much for my wife and my family. It was tough." Schulman says he's always made it a point to live an honest life and own up to his past mistakes. "I've lived a number of different lives in my 33 years. I've experienced different things, I've been in different social circles and I've made mistakes. I've been very honest about those and I've been accountable. I've apologized and done everything I could to make right where I may have wronged. I've been judged for those mistakes publicly and privately. That's tough and doesn't feel good, but it's important and something I've made part of my life." He says he tries to live by the same morals and values that are represented on Catfish, accountability and honesty. Schulman says he felt powerless as the investigation was underway. "To be accused of something that I squarely did not do and to have the harsh judgment that followed and no way to counteract or do something in the moment to correct that was very difficult," he says. "It was frustrating. I just felt so powerless." When the accusations were first made public in May, Schulman says he was overwhelmed by the amount of support he received from fans and past participants on the show. "Luckily I had the amazing support of the fans of the show, but also of my colleagues, the crew," he says. "Several people who had been on the show actually reached out to me and offered to speak up in my support if necessary. I'm just so thankful and grateful to everyone." In May, Schulman denied claims of sexual misconduct made by a woman who appeared on the show. "The behavior described in this video did not happen and I'm fortunate that there are a number of former colleagues who were present during this time period who are willing to speak up with the truth," Schulman said in a statement to People. "I have always been transparent about my life and would always take responsibility for my actions, but these claims are false." While Schulman, 33, does not name his accuser, fans believe he is referring to a YouTube video posted by a woman named Aisha Morgan, who appeared on Season 4 of Catfish in 2015. Morgan alleged on May 12 that show's main person made inappropriate comments to her. On every break from filming, every time they said cut, they're like, "Oh, well, when can I take you on a date?" Mind you, this was 20 minutes in from us meeting for the first time, she said in the video. "I was in such an uncomfortable place and a freaking hard time in my life as well. I'm at my most vulnerable." Morgan could not be reached for further comment. Schulman serves as the host and executive producer for the popular MTV show, which investigates online relationships and exposes people who impersonate others on the internet, and is based on his 2010 documentary. Chris Hardwick is returning to AMC. Entertainment Weekly reports that Hardwick, 46, has been reinstated as host for Talking Dead by the network effective August 12 after the mid-season premiere of Fear the Walking Dead. The news comes following an internal investigation into allegations of emotional and sexual abuse brought against him by ex-girlfriend Chloe Dykstra. Following a comprehensive assessment by AMC, working with Ivy Kagan-Bierman of the firm Loeb & Loeb, who has considerable experience in this area, Chris Hardwick will return to AMC as the host of Talking Dead and Talking with Chris Hardwick, the network said in a statement obtained by EW. "We take these matters very seriously, and given the information available to us after a very careful review, including interviews with numerous individuals, we believe returning Chris to work is the appropriate step." Last month, Dykstra, 29, wrote about her painful experience with sexual assault at the hands of a former boyfriend in an emotional first-person essay titled Rose-Colored Glasses, a Confession. Though she didn't name Hardwick as a subject, certain key details led many fans on Twitter to believe that she was referring to him. They dated for 3 years before announcing their split in July 2014. Hours after Dykstra's claims went public, Hardwick issued a statement denying that he ever sexually assaulted her. "I was heartbroken to read Chloe's post," he said. "Our 3-year relationship was not perfect. We were ultimately not a good match, and argues even shouted at each other, but I loved her and did my best to uplift and support her as a partner and companion in any way, and at no time did I sexually assault her." It's been 5 years since former Glee star Corey Monteith died of a heroin overdose in 2013, but for his mother Anne McGregor, it's like no time at all has passed. "I still can't pick up the pieces," McGregor, 67, tells People of losing her younger son when he was just 31. Her son Sean is 38. "My world totally stopped. And I'm a different person than I was before." Monteith, who was raised by single mom McGregor in Victoria, British Columbia, was very close with his mother growing up. "We used to go everywhere together," recalls McGregor in this week's issue of People, on Stan's Friday. "We had a favorite restaurant where we'd share fish and chips. Even at 3 years old, he would stand at the counter and pay the bill. He could talk to anyone. He just had a way about him, and all I could do was enjoy it." As a child, the advanced Monteith, he learned to read at just 3 years old, skipped 2 grades and was hanging out with an older crowd by his early teens. "There was this disconnect," says McGregor, "because he was pushed so far ahead and always associated with older children, but he was still a boy." Monteith began drinking and smoking marijuana at 13. By the time he was 19, he was in rehab for the second time. "He tried to keep everything from me, because he loved me and wanted to protect me," says McGregor, who took Monteith to rehab at 15 and then again at 19. "He was just always so curious. And the darker world just drew him in." Eventually, Monteith got sober and moved to Los Angeles, where he got bit parts on television before landing a starring role on Glee. But as busy as he was, Monteith always made time for Mom. "He never missed my birthday," says McGregor, who notes that Monteith used to show up at her door as a surprise and would often send her plane tickets to come visit in LA, but eventually, Monteith fell back into old habits. "He wasn't ready for the Hollywood world," explains McGregor, who says her son admitted he was using drugs again in December 2012, 7 months before his death. Drugs were his way of checking out. Monteith checked into a month-long rehab in April 2013, but between May and July, he had massive dental work that McGregor worries could have affected his sobriety. He had little teeth and they were all capped, says McGregor. He had a lot of medication in his system, which was not good for his body coming out of rehab. When Monteith's body was discovered in a Vancouver hotel room on July 13, 2013, there were traces of morphine, codeine and heroin in his system. Continues McGregor, he didn't have enough drugs in his system to kill him, but for some reason it did because of his intolerance built up by periods of intermittent sobriety. Now, McGregor is focused on remembering her son and continuing his legacy. Monteith worked with Project Limelight, a non-profit, free performing arts program for youths, as well as St. James Music Academy, which provides classical music education for at-risk children. Corey believed in prevention, rather than trying to fix people, says McGregor, who herself is working with Amber Academy, a non-profit in her community that empowers youth through fine arts. He wanted to give children opportunities to shine and feel good about themselves so they wouldn't turn to drugs. Khloe Kardashian and Tristan Thompson are reveling in family life. On Wednesday, the Keeping Up with the Kardashians reality star, 34, shared a too-cute video of the NBA power forward, 27, sharing a dance with their 12-week-old daughter, True. In the footage, shared on Snapchat, Thompson kissed and cradled his baby girl in his arms as they danced to a classical tune. "Do a little dance, baby," the Cleveland Cavaliers player told his youngest child. Want all the latest pregnancy and birth announcements, plus celebrity mom blogs? Click here to get those and more in the People Babies newsletter. The new mom previously gave praise to Thompson for his parenting as she prepared to go to work for the first time since giving birth on April 16. "I'm very grateful because Tristan is being a great daddy and he has done all the feedings while I've been gone," Kardashian said during her first day back on the job at her brand, Good American. "Shout out to all the good dads out there," the mother of one shared. Thompson is also dad to 18-month-old son Prince from his previous relationship with Jordan Craig. Related, it's true love. The cutest photos of Khloe Kardashian's daughter also on Wednesday. True spent some quality time with her famous female family members, including cousins Penelope Disick, 6, and 20-month-old Dream Kardashian. Kardashian shared several Snapchat videos from their baby class in which the girls danced to the wheels on the bus and Mambo No. 5 with their 2-year-old cousin, Saint West. Joining in on the fun play date were Kourtney Kardashian and her 3-year-old son, Rain Disick. "Baby class is poppin'," Kardashian captioned one of the videos. Related, Tristan Thompson showers 2-month-old daughter True with kisses, "Daddy loves you." The videos and photos of True come days after Kardashian clapped back at a hater who said True was not cute at all in a since-deleted tweet. What self-respecting adult? Danielle Staub is facing marital problems just 2 months after she tied the knot with husband Marty Caffrey. Following reports that the pair had split, a rep for the 55-year-old Real Housewives of New Jersey star tells People that while they are having some difficulties, Staub is hoping for a happy resolution. Danielle is having some difficulties with her marriage right now and is hoping everything will work out, Staub's rep says. Staub and Caffrey said "I do" in May during a Sunset Bohemian Beach ceremony held on the Bahamas' North Bimini Island at the Luna Beach Club. The reality star's Ranch co-stars Teresa Giudice, Melissa Gorga and Margaret Josephs all served as bridesmaids for the event, and a source told People at the time that the occasion was filmed for the hit Bravo show's upcoming 9th season. Related, Danielle Staub marries fiancé Marty Caffrey in Bohemian Bimini Beach wedding. Staub and Caffrey began dating in April 2016 and lived together in her New Jersey home. He proposed to her on a season 8 episode, news of which people first reported in May, surprising Staub on the grounds of a beautiful mansion, where a violinist played Pachelbel's canon in D and a handful of couples danced around them. "Baby, when I first met you, I was struck with how beautiful you are. As I got to know you, I fell in love with you," he told her before popping out a ring, a round-cut diamond with 4 prongs and an eternity band, and proposing. "I'll do everything I can to love you, to protect you, and to keep you safe." The engagement was simply beautiful, Staub gushed later. "He is such a gentleman." Ahead of the pair's marriage, Staub, who returned to Revenge last season in the friend of the housewives role after a 6-season hiatus from the show, told People, "I'm excited to connect with Marty as husband and wife. There's nothing more beautiful about that," she added. "We're both looking forward to that next chapter." This is the 3rd marriage for Staub. She and her last husband, businessman Thomas N. Staub, split after 14 years together before Revenge began filming. They share daughters Christine, 24, and Jillian, 20. Becoming a parent changed David Spade's life and his own family dynamics. In his newly released audiobook, A Polaroid Guy in a Snapchat World, the actor and comedian opens up about how his relationship with his father Wayne, who goes by the nickname Sam, changed after he welcomed his own child, daughter Harper, with former Playboy playmate Jillian Grace in 2008. "This one's going to be a little tricky. This is a chapter about my dad, and the way that it fits into this audiobook is I'm a dad now," he says. "And the difference and why it caused some complications with my own dad is because he was sort of a ne'er-do-well, which is putting it mildly. I think F-up is more on the nose." Spade, 54, describes his father as cool and funny, but also a bit of a skirt chaser, times 1,000,000,000, and a bit of boozy Susie. When he was 4 and his brothers Brian and Andy Spade were 8 and 6, respectively, Spade says his father suddenly vanished from their family home in Michigan. Want all the latest pregnancy and birth announcements, plus celebrity mom blogs? Click here to get those and more in the People Babies newsletter. Related video, David Spade breaks his silence after sister-in-law Kate Spade's death. "I still can't believe it." Growing up, Spade says he saw his father about 2 or 3 times a year. "We'd be sitting at the doors with our bags, because he would call us and say he wanted to see us," says the actor. "What I didn't realize back then was that it was a control thing. We never had his phone number. He would call us when he felt like it." Nevertheless, the actor says the duo maintained a relationship and even moved in together in Arizona at one point. But years later, when Spade became a father himself, everything changed. "I have a daughter now, and she came out of a situation with a girl I was dating and it was not planned," Spade says. "And I get angry, because my brothers and I were planned. Now, I'm so happy that I have a daughter and she's the best thing in my life, but I couldn't picture my daughter being sick and calling me and me not answering." Related, David Spade opens up about daughter Harper, "or just calling her without any way for her to call me," he explains. "That would be too much, it would be too rough. So when I had her, I got this new tidal wave of resentment towards my dad because of his irresponsible behavior and manipulative mean streak. So I stopped talking to him. I know it sounds crazy, but I just thought, holy yes. You really played your cards the way you did when we were kids," Spade continues. "I mean, I like to have fun too, but it can't be 24/7 and literally nothing else. The only thing my dad really did was give me an excuse to be nuts. I can always cry and go, it's my dad's fault. He left me when I was 4. Now I'm crazy. Though he has not divulged any recent details of his co-parenting relationship with Grace, Spade posts photos and videos of Harper on Instagram and sometimes shares sweet anecdotes about her while appearing on talk shows. In 2015, he joked about navigating the ropes of parenthood while appearing on The Ellen DeGeneres Show. "I'm new at this, how long till I can school her in tic-tac-toe?" he said. "Because I am really good at it, but I'm faking it so she can win. But now I'm getting In early spring, 1995, Patrizia Regani's telephone rang with word of the news that would change her life forever. Her ex-husband, the luxury goods scion and former fashion mogul Maurizio Gucci, had been killed at his office in Milan. A gunman, stylishly dressed and armed with a 7.65mm pistol, first fired on the 46-year-old Gucci from behind before shooting him in the face as he fell to the foyer's red marble floor. Regani learned of the slaying not long after. "I was very happy because all my problems were gone," she says on People magazine investigates Crimes of Fashion, which premieres Monday night on Investigation Discovery. "And then I started feeling very lost." Within 2 years, she would also be behind bars, suspected as the mastermind of the murder plot that ended with Gucci's death. Her motive? "There's some of everything," prosecutor Carlo Nocerino said at the time. "Jealousy. Even economic reasons. She never made a mystery of the rancor she felt for her husband." Watch People magazine investigates Crimes of Fashion premiering on Monday at 9 p.m. ET on Investigation Discovery. Gucci's ruthlessness in business left him with no shortage of enemies, including those in his own family, with whom he had run their eponymous brand. But his personal life could be turbulent as well. He married Regani in 1972 when they were both 24, and they quickly became one of Italy's prominent power couples, living a lavish, jet-setting lifestyle with homes in both New York and Milan. Then, in the spring of 1985, Gucci told Regani that he was going on a short business trip and never returned home, instead moving in with a younger woman. The couple finally divorced in 1994 after a protracted legal battle. Left to raise their 2 daughters, Alessandra and Allegra, Regani says she was heartbroken and then bitter. For more on the greed, lust and secrets in Maurizio Gucci's family, subscribe now to People or pick up this week's issue on newsstands now. "Maurizio always loved me, he wanted me to have the best," she says on Crimes of Fashion, exclusively previewed above. But he changed completely. Regani's 5-month murder trial began in May 1998, more than a year after her arrest, ending that November with her conviction along with 4 accomplices. The evidence against her reportedly included parts of her diary, including the line, "There is no crime that money cannot buy." In her defense, Reggiani claimed she had been scapegoated by her psychic, who acted without her consent. "Evidently, they didn't believe me," Reggiani said upon the guilty verdict, according to the New York Times. Truth is the daughter of time. She served 18 years in prison and was released in 2016, but she still contends she was wrongfully convicted. Now 69 and speaking out on Crimes of Fashion, Reggiani says, "I am not guilty, but I am not innocent. All the things that happened were a misunderstanding." Not that she has shown much sorrow over it. Once asked by an Italian reporter why she had planned the hit but did not shoot Gucci herself, she replied, "My eyesight is not so good." Demi Lovato's ex-boyfriend Wilmer Valderrama was taken aback after news that the singer had an apparent overdose on Tuesday morning. The sober singer, 25, was found unconscious in her Hollywood Hills, California, home, and she was rushed to a Los Angeles hospital. She is currently stable, a source close to the singer told People. The actor, in turn, is shocked, a source close to the former couple tells People. He knew she was going through a tough time, but he wasn't prepared for the source says. He saw her through so many ups and downs and was her rock through some of her darkest moments. To see her back in such a sad and vulnerable place is heartbreaking for him. The insider adds Valderrama has always cared deeply for her and they truly remained friends after they broke up. Demi always hoped they would end up back together in the future, the source continues. He's the love of her life and vice versa. The two dated for 6 years before breaking up in June 2016 in a joint statement on Instagram. In February, a source close to the two told People they were super close and have a crazy love for each other. They're extremely close friends, but there's always potential they could give a romantic relationship another try, the source said. The insider added that Lovato is very vocal about the fact that he is the love of her life. A lot of their issues had to do with their age difference, but she's matured a lot even in the past year or so. At first, it was really fun for her to be single and date around, but now she's starting to see that the grass isn't always greener. Last fall, Lovato opened up about her relationship with the actor, saying she never loved anybody like I loved Wilmer. Lovato's rep confirmed in a statement to People late Tuesday that the singer was in stable condition. Demi is awake and with her family who want to express thanks to everyone for the love, prayers and support, the rep said. Some of the information being reported is incorrect, and they respectfully ask for privacy and not speculation, as her health and recovery is the most important thing right now. Those clothes, the Stone Cold singer noticed red flags for months. A source told People Lovato's recent activities made it apparent the star was relapsing. You could tell when Demi was doing well with her sobriety because she wasn't hanging out at clubs, the source said. She has still very much kept up her work schedule and daily life, but there have definitely been signs that she isn't doing great with her sobriety. Related, I have hit rock bottom, everything Demi Lovato has said about her sobriety journey. Another source close to the situation added. Things have been a total mess for months. She and her team severed ties, and they played a large part in getting her sober years ago. She hasn't been in a good place. Meanwhile, another insider shares, Demi was never really clean and sober from all of her demons. She has been fighting depression and anxiety for quite some time and is still in such a dark place. She was sober for a while, but not completely sober for 6 years. Lovato's hospitalization also comes 4 weeks after she revealed she had relapsed after 6 years of sobriety. Related video, Iggy Azalea admits knowing about Demi Lovato's relapse. I wanted her to be the one to tell. On June 21st, the Grammy nominee released the emotional single, Sober, in which she sings, Mama, I'm so sorry I'm not sober anymore / and Daddy please forgive me for the drink spilled on the floor. Lovato has battled addiction, mental illness and disordered eating for years. In 2010, she entered treatment, where she was treated for bipolar disorder, bulimia, self-harm and addiction. She relapsed after she left the treatment center, then entered a sober living facility for a year. The star has been very candid over the years about her alcohol and drug addictions, most recently opening up about her issues in the YouTube documentary, Simply Complicated. Related, Demi Lovato's mom details her family's harrowing mental health and addiction journey. Meanwhile, in September 2017, Lovato was honored with the Spirit of Sobriety award at the Brent Shapiro Foundation for Drug Prevention Summer Spectacular in Beverly Hills. "Every day is a battle," she said at the time. "You just have to take it one day at a time. Some days are easy." Demi Lovato's ex-boyfriend Wilmer Valderrama stopped by the hospital on Wednesday to pay the singer a visit after her apparent overdose, People confirms. The visit comes just one day after Lovato was found unconscious in her Hollywood Hills, California, home by police and first responders. A source at the hospital tells People Valderrama visited with Lovato late Wednesday. The singer, 25, remains at Cedars-Sinai and is staying in the hospital overnight, the source also confirmed. Valderrama rushed to Lovato's side after initially being very shocked by his ex's overdose. Related, "I had hit rock bottom. Everything Demi Lovato has said about her sobriety journey, he knew she was going through a tough time, but he wasn't prepared for this," a source close to the former couple told People on Tuesday. "He saw her through so many ups and downs and was her rock through some of her darkest moments. To see her back in such a sad and vulnerable place is heartbreaking for him." The insider added the actor has always cared deeply for her and they truly remained friends after they broke up. Demi always hoped they would end up back together in the future, the source continued. "He's the love of her life and vice versa." The former couple dated for 6 years before announcing their split on Instagram in June 2016 in a joint statement. In February, a source close to the two told People they were super close and have a crazy love for each other. "They're extremely close friends, but there's always potential they could give a romantic relationship another try," the source said. The insider added that Lovato is very vocal about the fact that he is the love of her life. "A lot of their issues had to do with their age difference, but she's matured a lot even in the past year or so. At first, it was really fun for her to be single and date around, but now she's starting to see that the grass isn't always greener." Last fall, Lovato opened up about her relationship with the actor, saying she never loved anybody like I loved Wilmer. Related, Demi Lovato and pals were on a binger night before overdose and had Narcan on hand. Source: the pop star's apparent overdose came after a night out with friends, a source confirms. She and her friends were on a binger the entire night, an insider told People early Wednesday. They keep Narcan on hand for such situations. They were prepared for this. "The people she has been hanging around lately aren't her real friends. They don't have her best interests at heart. She's pushed her true friends away." The source added, "She had to find creative and sneaky ways to get drugs because her team and those that really care about her really try to keep a close watch on her." And while the insider says Lovato is capable of pulling through this, sources close to the star told People they had been fearing an incident like this for an extended period of time. Related video, Demi Lovato is awake and with her family in hospital following apparent overdose. Source: things have been a total mess for months. She and her team severed ties, and they played a large part in getting her sober years ago. She hasn't been in a good place, a close source claimed. Last month Lovato released her new hit song, Sober, revealing her recent relapse following 6 years of sobriety. She performed Sober in Paso Robles, California, just 2 days prior to the apparent. There's a new potential housewife in town. A source tells People that actress Denise Richards is in talks to join the cast for the 9th season of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. "It's not final yet, it's very close," says the source. "Everyone is really excited about the possibility of having her on board." Richards, 47, is a mother of 3 daughters, Sam, 14, Lola, 13 and Eloise, 7. Sam and Lola's dad is Richard's ex-husband Charlie Sheen. The Wild Things star has been rumored to be in discussions with producers for years, but the timing was never right, says a second insider close to the show. Denise has been wanting to join the show for a long time. She's a huge Housewives fan and watches all of the shows, says the insider. And she has close relationships with many of the women in real life, including Kyle Richards and Lisa Rinna. The timing was never right for her in the past, but the producers needed to shake the dynamic of the show up after a season without much conflict. She's going to be a great fit. She's not afraid of the drama. And she lives a glamorous, Hollywood life which the show looks for. Richards is no stranger to reality television. Her show Denise Richards, It's Complicated, ran for 2 seasons on E! Before ending in 2009. Rehab premiered on Bravo in 2010. It was the 6th installment of Housewives franchise the network developed, following Orange County, New York City, Atlanta, New Jersey and the now-cancelled DC. In addition to Rinna and Richards, the show currently stars Lisa Vanderpump. The Jonas Brothers' romances are burning up. Nick Jonas and Priyanka Chopra enjoyed a night out on the town as they walked hand in hand in London on Monday evening, and the couple was joined by his brother Joe Jonas and his fiancée Sophie Turner. The foursome had a double date at 34 Restaurant in Mayfair. Nick, 24, was dressed in a plaid burgundy shirt and color-coordinated pants, while Chopra, 35, opted for a gray and white striped dress. Meanwhile, Joe, 28, chose a black and white patterned shirt, and Turner, whom he proposed to 9 months ago in October 2017, stood out in a yellow crop top and jeans. Also joining them was Nick and Joe's older brother, Kevin Jonas. This is far from the first time Chopra has met her boyfriend's family. Over the last several weeks, the pair, who stayed in touch after hitting it off last year, has been spotted on several dates, including a dinner date in New York City and a Beauty and the Beast live-in concert show in Los Angeles. But things really heated up between the pair when they introduced each other to their families. Chopra met his family at his cousin Rachel Tomborelli's wedding in New Jersey on June 9. At the ceremony was Nick's brothers Frankie and Kevin Jonas, who was accompanied by his wife Danielle, as well as their mother Denise and father Kevin Sr. It's a huge deal that Nick brought Priyanka to his cousin's wedding, a Jonas pal previously told People of the duo, who posed together at the 2017 Met Gala. He's dated a lot over the last couple years, but it's never been anything serious, so this is a big step. Nick and Priyanka really like each other, and his family enjoyed getting to know her as well. She fit right in. Then, on June 22, Nick and Priyanka traveled to India, where they met her mother Madhu. Watch Nick Jonas and Priyanka Chopra hold hands as they end week-long getaway to India. Earlier this month, the duo was spotted wearing matching gold rings on their right hands. And on Thursday, Chopra confirmed she is getting to know Nick. "We're getting to know each other, and I think it was a great experience for him," she told People about his recent visit to her home country. "I think he really enjoyed it." The Robertson dynasty is expanding. Duck Dynasty alum Rebecca Robertson Laughlin announced Tuesday on Instagram that she is expecting her first child with husband John Reed Laughlin. "We are having a human baby coming January 2019, she wrote in the caption. In a video, she shared her husband's reaction to seeing her pregnancy test, surprising him with a baby-sized denim jacket. John looked shocked as he stared at the positive pregnancy test, asking Rebecca, "Are you pregnant? Are you serious? Are you serious? You're pregnant?" He continued, "I love you. Are you serious?" "Yes," she told him. "Bae." Bae. How? How far along are you? He asked her as the video cut off. John also shared the news on Instagram, writing, "I'm going to be a dad." Rebecca's mother and fellow Duck Dynasty star Corey Robertson couldn't contain her joy about the news that she was going to be a grandmother. "What? Is this real? Oh my goodness, my heart is racing. What in the world? I can't believe that," she said in an Instagram video as she pointed to the pregnancy test. "How do you feel?" she asked Rebecca, who said, "I feel fine." Corey admitted that she's been dying to tell y'all this. At Rebecca Robertson at John Reed Laughlin are having a baby, which means Willie and I are going to be grandparents. The kids said my voice just got higher and higher when they told us the news. You feel fine? You feel normal? So excited. She wrote. She's due in January, can't wait. What will they call us? Suggestions? Related, Willie Robertson of Duck Dynasty walks daughter Rebecca down the aisle in Mexico, wedding the mother-to-be, a former exchange student from Taiwan who became the Robertsons' foster child in 2004, and her husband announced their engagement in 2016. "After long time of patiently searching, I found the ultimate gem." Months after 3 women alleged that Gossip Girl star Ed Westwick sexually assaulted them, People has learned that the Los Angeles County District Attorney's Office will not pursue charges against the actor, due to insufficient evidence. All 3 of Westwick's accusers reported that they were assaulted by the British actor in 2014. But prosecutors say they have been unable to secure enough corroborating evidence to pursue a conviction for any of the 3 allegations. The actor's attorney told BuzzFeed News that the evidence demonstrated from the start that each of the allegations made by the 3 women would be proven untrue. "It is a shame there are those who so publicly prejudged this case, and that it took this long for it to be fully cleared," she continued. "I hope that those who made such quick judgment here, not knowing anything about the abundant evidence of innocence in this case, will hesitate next time before they so swiftly condemn before investigating the truth." In charging documents provided to People, prosecutors explained that while 2 of the victims cooperated with authorities and provided access to witnesses, some of whom were outside of the room where an alleged incident took place, they could not provide enough information to satisfy the prosecution's burden of proof beyond a reasonable doubt. Meanwhile, the investigating officer was unable to secure an interview with the 3rd victim, so that charge, too, will not be pursued for lack of evidence. The DA's office also noted that there were a number of other women who accused the actor of unwanted touching, but those incidents were reportedly outside of the statute of limitations for criminal proceedings. Prosecutors first began investigating potential charges against the actor in March of this year, after they were referred these complaints by Los Angeles police. Actress Christina Cohen was the first to publicly accuse Westwick of rape in November 2017, writing in a lengthy Facebook post that she was napping in Westwood's guest bedroom before waking up to him assaulting her. "I was woken up abruptly by Ed on top of me, his fingers entering my body. I told him to stop, but he was strong. I fought him off as hard as I could, but he grabbed my face in his hands, shaking me, telling me he wanted to F me," she wrote. "I was paralyzed, terrified. I couldn't speak, I could no longer move. He held me down and raped me." Westwick denied Cohen's claim, saying in a since-deleted statement on social media, "I do not know this woman. I have never forced myself in any manner, on any woman. I certainly have never committed rape." A second claim from former actress Aurelie Winsoon surfaced, accusing Westwick of raping her in July 2014 while she was visiting his home. I said no and he pushed me face down and I was powerless under his weight, she alleged. I was wearing a one-piece bathing suit that he ripped. I was in complete shock. Creative producer Rachel X then added her own account of sexual assault by the actor, claiming in an interview with BuzzFeed that Westwick had aggressively groped her breasts at a hotel that very same year. Westwick also denied that they may have only been together for a few months. By Pete Davidson and Ariana Grande have wasted no time in making their love permanent with lots and lots of tattoos. 1. Their matching clouds. Before the couple had even publicly confirmed their relationship, Davidson and Grande decided to wear their hearts on their sleeves by inking matching tiny clouds on their fingers. The comedian showed off his new ink in a portrait on Instagram, while fans spotted Grande's during a concert in May. 2. Pete's Dangerous Woman demoed ink shortly after their new relationship made headlines. The Saturday Night Live star's tattoo artist showed off a pair of new Grande-themed tattoos on social media. First and most famously, Davidson had a bunny-eared mask tattooed behind his ear, reminiscent of the mask that Grande wears on the cover of her Dangerous Woman album. He followed that up with a rendering of the initials AG on his finger, to really drive home who his heart now belongs to. 3. Reborn. In June, the couple celebrated their engagement by getting the word reborn inked onto their thumbs. Davidson showed off his reborn tat and Grande's massive engagement ring on Instagram, along with the caption, "You know what you'd dream it be like. It's better than that." 4. Single quote H2GKMO single quote. A few days later, the engaged couple followed that up with another set of matching tattoos. They both got H2GKMO inked on their right thumbs, which is an abbreviation of Grande's favorite saying, "Honest to God, knock me out." 5. Always. A few days after that, Grande debuted the word always on her rib cage, which some fans think is an homage to the couple's shared love of Harry Potter. The ink is just barely visible in a few photos she's posted on her Instagram page. It's located on the front of her rib cage, right under her bikini top. Though she hasn't properly showed off the ink on social media, it is believed that the tattoo was done in Davidson's handwriting, because these two are truly more in love than anyone else in the world. 6. Pete, the singer, did away with subtlety completely at the end of June, when she got her fiancé's name inked on her ring finger, just below the massive, $93,000 pear-shaped diamond that Davidson gave her. Grande also named a song on Sweetener after Davidson as well. 7. Single quote 8418 single quote. Grande's most recent Davidson-themed ink is the number 8418, which she placed on her ankle. The tattoo matches one that the comedian has on his arm, commemorating his late father's FNI badge number. Davidson's father was a firefighter who died in 9/11, and the Farrah Abraham has been charged in her June arrest at the Beverly Hills Hotel. A rep for the LA District Attorney confirmed to People on Monday that the teen mom Og Alam has been charged with one misdemeanor count each of battery and resisting, delaying or obstructing a peace officer. If the 27-year-old reality star is convicted, she could face 18 months in jail. Her arraignment is scheduled for August 13. Abraham was arrested after an alleged altercation with a Beverly Hills hotel employee last month. On June 13, 2018, at approximately 1:19 a.m., Beverly Hills police officers responded to the Beverly Hills Hotel for a report of a disturbance inside the hotel restaurant. Officers arrived shortly thereafter and made contact with the person complained of, Farrah Abraham. A spokesperson for the Beverly Hills Police Department told People at the time. A male adult hotel security officer reported that he asked Abraham to leave the hotel after she refused to disengage from a verbal altercation with hotel guests. said the spokesperson. The security officer reported that Abraham struck him in the face with her forearm, grabbed his ear and pushed him in the face as he attempted to prevent her from re-entering the hotel. Officers noted that Abraham exhibited signs of intoxication during the investigation. According to the spokesperson, the victim sustained minor injury and was not transported to a hospital. She was arrested for misdemeanor battery and trespassing pursuant to a private person's arrest. She was booked at the Beverly Hills jail and held on $500 bail. We can confirm there was an incident involving a patron in the Polo Lounge this morning, a spokesperson for the hotel told People. As this is an ongoing investigation with the Beverly Hills Police Department, we are unable to provide any further comment at this time. When confronted by police, Abraham denied getting physical. In video obtained by TMZ, the teen mom Alan could be heard berating officers after the incident. "If you want to effing bulls me and if you want to act like I'm not a real adult, go F yourself and go F yourself and go F yourself," she said. "It's pathetic. Where am I battering anyone? I did not attack or batter or hurt or injure anyone. You want to do that on camera so everybody at TMZ can see and everybody else can see that you're going through my freaking bag?" she continued. Abraham's combative stance then shifted into tears. "I am a normal individual. It's pathetic," she said. "I don't want to be arrested. Why are you provoking me to get arrested? I am not going to be provoked to be arrested. I am not resisting you," she screamed. "You're hurting me." People has reached out to Abraham for further comment. After her arrest, Abraham's rep told People, "This situation has been blown out of proportion. A misunderstanding occurred and there was no battery or trespassing," the rep continued. "Farah is the hardest working individual I know and sets very high standards." Tarek El Moussa makes risky real estate deals every day on Flip or Flop, the HGTV show he hosts with ex-wife Christina. So when he spotted this 4-bedroom Costa Mesa, California, home, he tells People, he had no qualms about buying it within hours. He paid a reported $2.28 million for the home in March. The price, he later said, was conveniently under his budget. "I walked in, and it had the absolute coolest bachelor pad meets family house vibes," says El Moussa, 36, who shares custody of daughter Taylor, 7, and son Brayden, 2, with Christina, from whom he split in 2016. Related, Tarek El Moussa shows off his bachelor pad and reveals his yacht's new name. "I recently changed it to Bad Decisions." He was excited to decorate from scratch. "I had nothing. When I left, I left. So I got to design and build most of the furniture," he says. In his master suite, a custom 8 feet by 8 feet canopy bed takes center stage. No comment. He jokes when asked about the inspiration for creating the massive piece, before admitting, "I just wanted a big bed. My kids are always with me, so a huge bed is perfect for them. We all lay in bed and play, and there's so much room. It's just nice to have that." The kids also got a say in their bedroom designs. Taylor's space features pink walls and a mermaid theme, and truck-obsessed Brayden has a car theme, including a race car bed. The backyard pool and big driveway were also a big sell for the little ones. "The driveway is gated, so my kids play basketball and soccer. They rollerblade. They have their scooters. That's why it's a great house for me as a dad," he says. Adding, "On the bachelor side, it's really cool and hip and modern. It has the jacuzzi. It's great for entertaining. It's just beautiful." Related, Flip or Flop's Christina El Moussa opens up about her painful divorce. I felt like I was drowning after decking out the place top to bottom. The real estate pro says he plans to stay put for a while. The house is actually perfect. It's just me and my kids and my live-in nanny. I don't see why I'd need to move. He admits, however, after just 2 weeks in the new house, there may be some awkwardness with his. She has a passenger for life. Former Overhaulen host Courtney Hansen tied the knot with longtime love Jay Hardington in Taormina, Italy, on Friday, July 20th. The ceremony and reception took place at the Belmond Grand Hotel Timeo, outdoors along the Ionian Sea with views of Mount Etna. The event was the highlight of a 4-day celebration that included a Wednesday night welcome dinner, Thursday night rehearsal in the countryside, and Saturday beachside brunch. We knew we wanted to do a destination wedding, and we're considering different places in Italy. I've been all over there, and my husband used to live there, Hansen tells People. After discussing a few places, he suggested Taormina. When we went to look at it, I literally cried happy tears when I arrived. I said absolutely, this is where we need to do it. It was the perfect location. Nearly 150 guests including comedian Sebastian Maniscalco, at whose 2013 wedding Hansen and Hardington met, jewelry designer Irene Neuwirth, and former NFL great Edgerrin James came out to celebrate the couple, who share 4-year-old daughter Holland, the flower girl. She didn't initially want to wear the flowers on her head. She's a tomboy, Hansen explains. I said, Holland, if you wear these flowers and this dress I'll get you any toy you want. Just please take these photos and get through the ceremony. She agreed. Then right in the middle of our vows she said, I know what I want. Captain America. Everybody heard, but everybody was laughing. The bride walked down the aisle in a Marchesa gown, changing into a beaded Naeem Khan jumpsuit, my favorite piece I've ever worn in my life. She says, for the reception. The groom wore a Brunello Cucinelli tuxedo and Dolce & Gabbana shoes. Following the ceremony, the couple drove the streets of town in a vintage Fiat, a nod to Hansen's automotive work. The whole bridal party followed us. Tourists and locals were stopping to congratulate us, Hansen says. It was so surreal, the most magical moment of my life. And after the party was the after party. The group went dancing at Morgana Lounge following the reception, shutting the place down at 5:30 a.m. and grabbing pizza afterward. We had the time of our lives, says Hansen. In addition to her TLC and Spike hosting duties, Hansen wrote the Garage Girl's Guide to Everything You Need to Know About Your Car. Next up, she's executive producing and hosting a new auto-themed TV show, The Ride That Got Away, which co-stars car designer Troy Ladd and premieres on History in November. Her groom is an entrepreneur and owner of Rehab. Kylie Jenner was first spotted with rapper Travis Scott in April 2017 after splitting from her on-again, off-again boyfriend Tyga. Since first linking up, the couple's whirlwind romance has included low-key dates, flashy birthday presents and quality time with the Jenner crew. Scott even got the famous family's seal of approval. And now, the couple are parents to daughter Stormi. In honor of the couple's joint GQ cover, we're taking a look back at the pair's relationship. First spotted together at Coachella April 2017 during an off phase of Jenner's relationship with Tyga, the reality star was spotted getting cozy with Scott at a Coachella party. Travis and Kylie have been friends for a while and they all hang out, a source told People at the time. When she and Tyga are having drama, she tries to make him jealous by hanging out with other guys. But it turns out Scott has been close with the Jenner sisters for quite some time. He even performed at Kendall Jenner's star-studded 21st birthday bash in November 2016. packing on PDA April 2017. A few weeks after hanging out at Coachella together, the couple seemed to make their love official by getting cuddly at an NBA playoff game in Houston, Texas. According to an onlooker at the Houston Rockets vs Oklahoma City Thunder game where Scott performed before tip-off, the Keeping Up with the Kardashians star and the hip-hop artist were spotted holding hands and definitely looked like a couple. During his performance, Kylie was hiding in the Rockets' courtside club anxiously waiting for him to come back to her. Once he got back, they definitely looked like a couple, cuddled up next to each other among her friends, said the onlooker, who attended the game and spotted Jenner kissing Scott's neck. A show of support. April 2017, Jenner headed to Bentley University outside Boston to support her beau. Located just outside Boston in the town of Waltham, Bentley was celebrating their annual Spring Day, which always included a big concert on campus featuring Scott. Later, the couple headed to Boston's Theater District, where Scott made an appearance at Bijou nightclub. He was definitely looking for something intimate, one club-goer told People. They also talked a lot. Like, actually having a conversation. They were dancing at the club. They were definitely super into each other. He didn't really perform, he just showed up and partied. They left in the same car too. Getting handsy. June 2017, the Keeping Up with the Kardashians star stopped by the rapper's Los Angeles home, where the duo were spotted getting handsy with one another. Scott was spotted grabbing the bum of the then 19-year-old Kylie Cosmetics founder, who sported a black sweatshirt, with a red rose embroidered hoodie, and fitted black leggings. At one point during their romantic embrace, Scott lifted up the reality star into the air as they snuggled up in front of the black Cadillac SUV outside of his residence. Matching in June 2017, Jenner and Scott attended Khloe Kardashian's 33rd birthday party at Tao in Los Angeles, where they were all over each other, said the source. They recently got matching butterfly tattoos on their ankles that they were showing off to their friends and family, the insider added. They were super affectionate, and Travis was constantly kissing Kylie on the cheek and whispering in her ear. Their relationship seems to be getting stronger, and they're closer than ever. Jenner also went on to get an ankle tattoo in tribute to ex-Tyga, Rehab, transforming what once was a lowercase t to a lowercase la. Matching rings. June 2017, first matching tattoos, now this. Jenner and Scott seemed quite determined to make their love known, and their latest romantic display came in the form of matching rings. The Keeping Up with the Kardashians star and the rapper were spotted out in Los Angeles, both wearing sparkling bands on their ring fingers. Related, is this when Travis Scott found out Kylie Jenner was pregnant with his child? Birthday bling. August 2017, on her 20th birthday in August, the Life of Kylie star enjoyed a low-key family celebration at home before hitting a movie theater with Scott. But what fans were quick to point out was the fact that Jenner was sporting some new bling, a very sparkly new diamond necklace, which was a birthday gift from her rapper boyfriend. Seal of approval. August 2017, related photos. All the outfits Kylie Jenner has worn to hide her pregnancy. Though Jenner and Scott's relationship was still rather new at the time, her family was definitely on board with the romance. A source told People in August that the Jenner crew loves Travis. Kylie and Travis are doing great, said the source. There's no drama with Travis. He's a cool guy. He treats Kylie with a lot of respect and love, added the source. Kylie is very happy. Baby on board. September 2017. In September, multiple sources told People the Kylie Lip Kit creator was pregnant with her first child. They started telling friends a few weeks ago, said the source. The family has known for quite some time. She is really excited and so is Travis. Another source close to the family told People, "It is an unexpected but completely amazing turn of events that she could not be more excited or thrilled about." New parents February 2018. After months of keeping fans in the dark, Jenner confirmed pregnancy rumors and announced she and boyfriend Scott had welcomed their first child, daughter Stormy Webster, together on February 1. After the baby was born, Carly was relieved that the moment was finally here, a source told People. And even though the delivery room was a bit chaotic with all the family and friends around, the source added that the 20-year-old was overwhelmed in a good way, overwhelmed with the joy, love and support everyone was giving to her and Travis. Happy Times February 2018. The Keeping Up with the Kardashians star became a first-time mom on February 1 when she welcomed daughter Stormy with her rapper boyfriend Travis Scott, who has his own place but is co-parenting with Jenner. Despite being new parents, Carly and Travis are still in a new relationship too. Carly is happy with their living situation, a source close to Jenner told People. Travis is a great dad. When he wants to work, Carly is supportive. The source added that the Kylie Lip Kit creator has everything she needs right now and seems very happy. Hot Wheels March 2018. Showing off two sleek and shiny new cars, Jenner hinted that the vehicles were meant for her and her boyfriend when she captioned the shot, "Mom and Dad." While one of the vehicles is a bright orange Lamborghini Aventador, the other appears to be a matching model in a darker hue. Birthday boy April 2018. To celebrate boyfriend Travis Scott's 26th birthday on April 30, Jenner had a private party at Six Flags Magic Mountain in Los Angeles, which was attended by her sisters Kendall Jenner, Kourtney Kardashian, Kim Kardashian West, and her husband Kanye West. Rented out Six Flags for baby's birthday, she wrote alongside a video of the start of one of the night's many roller coaster rides on her Instagram story. They've never been. Cover stars July 2018. Gracing the cover of GQ's August issue, Jenner and her boyfriend are opening up about how they first. Full House fans, if you want to see the exterior of the iconic San Francisco house made popular by the beloved show, you'll have to visit by foot. According to Sfgate.com, the San Francisco Municipal Transportation Agency's Board of Directors voted Tuesday to ban tour buses and other commercial vehicles that seat more than 9 people from the street that houses the Painted Ladies, a block of Victorian homes on Broderick Street between Pine and Bush made famous by their appearance in the intro credits to the sitcom. According to Cab TV, the influx of tourists hoping to catch a glimpse of the block has led many drive on the wrong side of the road, park illegally and block driveways. Related, Elizabeth Olsen addresses the rumor she'd play grown-up Michelle Tanner in Fuller House. The original Full House ran for 8 seasons from 1987 to 1995. The series was later rebooted, with the first season of Fuller House premiering on Netflix in 2016. Seasons 1-3 are currently streaming on Netflix. A premiere date for Season 4 has not yet been announced. Full House fans, if you want to see the exterior of the iconic San Francisco house made popular by the beloved show, you'll have to visit by foot. According to Sfgate.com, the San Francisco Municipal Transportation Agency's Board of Directors voted Tuesday to ban tour buses and other commercial vehicles that seat more than 9 people from the block of Broderick Street between Pine and Bush, where the house is located. According to Cab TV, the influx of tourists hoping to catch a glimpse of the block has led many drive on the wrong side of the road, park illegally and block driveways. Related, the Fuller House cast has big plans for the original Tanner family home. Contrary to popular belief, the Tanner family home is not one of the city's famous Painted Ladies, a row of colorful Victorian homes located several blocks away along the eastern edge of Alamo Square Park. Those houses do, however, appear in the background opening credits in some seasons. Related, Elizabeth Olsen addresses the rumor she'd play grown-up Michelle Tanner in Fuller House. The original Full House ran for 8 seasons from 1987 to 1995. The series was later rebooted, with the first season of Fuller House premiering on Netflix in 2016. Seasons 1-3 are currently streaming on Netflix. A premiere date for Gretchen Carlson is standing by the Miss America Board of Directors following backlash over major changes made to the contest in recent months. Carlson opened up about the controversial decision to eliminate the swimsuit competition portion of the program during an appearance on Good Morning America. "Change is difficult," said Carlson, who serves as the chairwoman of the Miss America Board of Directors and won the crown herself in 1989. "This board unanimously decided that we needed to move this program forward. Since the decision to scrap the swimsuit portion, Carlson, 52, and other members of the board have come under criticism for the push to make the competition more inclusive and less based on physical appearance. Some pageant officials have even called for Carlson's resignation over the matter. We believe that physical appearance and beauty and being fit that is empowering. We're just not going to judge women on that anymore," Carlson said. "We're working through this in the best way we can." Related, Miss America eliminated swimsuit competition. "We are no longer a pageant." Last month, Carlson announced several changes to the upcoming telecast. Along with the elimination of the swimsuit portion, she said they are also revamping the evening gown portion, instead asking contestants to use their clothes to express their personal style. "We've heard from a lot of young women who say, 'We'd love to be a part of your program but we don't want to be out there in high heels and a swimsuit. So guess what? You don't have to do that anymore," she said at the time. "Who doesn't want to be empowered, learn leadership skills and pay for college and be able to show the world who you are as a person from the inside of your soul? That's what we're judging them on." The current Miss America, Cara Mund of North Dakota, showed her support for the movement by sharing a graphic of a bathing suit disappearing on her official Twitter page. "We're changing out of our swimsuits and into a whole new era," she wrote, adding the hashtags #ByeByeABikini and #Miss America 2019. Carlson, who reached a $20 million settlement in her sexual harassment lawsuit against former Fox News chairman Roger Ailes in 2016, joined the board of directors just over 6 months ago. "This was a call of duty for me. I never..." For Heidi Klum and her boyfriend Tom Collins, age is just a number. The model, 45, revealed the biggest issue with dating a 28-year-old is not the age gap, it is other people. "Lately, I'm being reminded more about my age by people other than myself," Klum told InStyle. "My boyfriend is many years younger than me, and lots of people are questioning that and asking about it. That's really the only time when age seems to be shoved in my face and I have to give an answer for it," Klum added. For the couple, however, it is not something they personally spend much time thinking about. "I don't really think about it that much otherwise. You have to just live a happy life without worrying too much about what people think because worrying is only going to give you more wrinkles," Klum told InStyle. Klum and the Tokyo Hotel musician sparked dating rumors back in March after they were spotted kissing on set while she was filming America's Got Talent. They then made their first public appearance as a couple in May for the Cannes Amphar Gala. Klum's romance with Collins came just 6 months after splitting with boyfriend of 3 years Vito Schnabel, 31. Related article, Heidi Klum proves once again age is nothing but a number with a sexy lingerie selfie they're taking time apart right now, a source told People. Things have been difficult recently, they live on opposite coasts. And it's the start of a school year and Heidi has to concentrate on the kids. Heidi shares 3 children, Henry, 12, Johann, 10, and daughter Lou, 7, with her. The Hills are alive with the sound of a mini reunion. Jason Waller, known to fans as Lauren Conrad's ex-boyfriend, whom she picked Paris over, shared a photo of his get-together with former MTV co-stars Spencer Pratt and Heidi Montag in Laguna Beach, California, on Thursday. It was so nice reconnecting with that Heidi Pratt and that Spencer Pratt. They have such a wonderful little family. At MTV, Waller captioned a photo of him, his wife Ashley and their 11-month-old daughter Delilah Ray Waller with Pratt, 34, Montag, 31, and their 9-month-old son Gunnar. Learn to forgive and forget. Waller, 31, added. Related, will a Hills reunion ever happen? The cast weighs in the demise of Montag and Conrad's friendship occurred after reports that LC and Waller had allegedly made a sex tape. At the time Conrad denied reports saying, "Jason and I would like to make it clear that we did not make a tape with us having sex. Jason and I are both shocked and hurt that people would say such horrible things about us. I can't believe that somebody would go to such great lengths to try to damage my reputation." Fans later learned that Pratt was the one who started the rumor, hence the infamous "you know what you did" line directed at Montag in Season 3. On Tuesday, Waller shared several videos to Instagram story documenting their mini reunion, including one of Pratt drinking coffee as the Hills theme song, Natasha Bedingfield's Unwritten, played in the background. Related, the stars of the Hills, where are they now? Waller was also featured on MTV's Laguna Beach with Conrad before they joined Pratt and Montag on the Hills. In April, Laguna Beach co-star Kristen Cavallari, who joined the Hills seasons after Waller, said Pratt and Montag pulled the plug on a potential reunion show. Truth be told, they were trying to get us all together. Then 2 people pulled out, Cavallari, 31, said on SiriusXM's The Jenny McCarthy Show. When McCarthy guessed if it was America's Got Talent took a dramatic turn on Tuesday night as a trapeze trick nearly turned deadly while the cameras rolled. Mary and Tice, a husband and wife trapeze team, initially wowed the judges as they performed gravity-defying tricks high above the stage, which was on fire throughout their act. Their impressive feats were made even more daring as Tice is legally blind in his right eye due to a progressive eye disease. On their final big trick, Tice blindfolded himself as he hung upside down and prepared to catch his wife. Mary then fell backwards so Tice could catch her by her ankles, but she slipped through his grip, falling heavily to the floor. The audience and judges screamed as she plunged to the ground. More horrifying was that her mother and 2-year-old son, Jax, were watching from the audience and, fearing the worst, the visibly distressed grandmother grabbed the little boy close before covering her face. Fortunately, Mary landed on a heavy safety mat, ensuring her fall was painful but not as horrific as it appeared. After a few agonizing seconds, Mary stood up and revealed to the crowd she was not seriously injured. As her husband was brought down to earth, he embraced her and passionately kissed her. While shaken, the duo was determined to try the catch again, but the judges would have none of it. "No, it's fine," Mel B yelled. "It's fine." While actor Ken Jeong, who was guest hosting Tuesday, made it clear that would not be necessary. Related article, America's Got Talent winner Neely Boyd was found dead by his mother. Report: This is not America's Got Perfection, it's America's Got Talent. Nobody can do this, He consoled the couple. Echoing his statements, Simon Cowell said everyone makes mistakes on the ag stage, albeit this could have had more serious consequences than just being off-key, as Mary almost broke her neck. You almost got hurt very badly and your first thought was, let me do that again. Only on America's Got Talent does that happen, Howie Mandel told Mary, who was in tears. Heidi Klum praised their passion before Cowell told them that, long before her family became household names, Kim Kardashian dated a member of one of America's most famous families. When she was a young teen, Kardashian dated Michael Jackson's nephew T.J. Jackson. The pair was together for more than a year, and Kardashian's family approved of their relationship. One of the people who liked Jackson, Kardashian's nanny, Pam Behan, who watched the Kardashian kids for 5 years. Behan recalls the relationship in a new interview on the Reels channel's Scandal Made Me Famous. I really liked TJ, she tells the show. He was kind of on the quiet, shy side, always very nice and polite. A good-looking kid, and as far as I could ever see, he treated Kim with great respect. According to Behan, Kardashian and Jackson even visited his uncle's estate more than once. I know that she went to the Neverland Ranch with him a time or two, she recalls. Kardashian has told people about those visits. That was the most magical place on earth, she shared with People in 2009. I had my birthday at Neverland Ranch. Who else can say that? When you drove up there were baby elephants and chimpanzees in overalls, and there was all the rides, Kardashian recalled. It was everything you can possibly imagine. The memories I have from that place will last for the rest of my life. Related, Kim Kardashian's childhood nanny reveals, perfectionist Kris Jenner wasn't easy to work for, but despite the good relationship between Kardashian and Jackson, things didn't work out mostly because they were both so young. Still, Behan thought they might have had a future. I honestly thought that they'd get married, she recalls. I really did. Scandal Made Me Famous combines reenactments, exclusive interviews, and never-before-seen photos and video to tell the story of infamous crimes. Meghan King Edmonds knows how to put together a gorgeous space. Weeks after welcoming twin sons Hart King and Hayes King on June 5, the 33-year-old Real Housewives of Orange County alum shared a photo gallery on her Instagram account showing off the boys' neutral room, filled with calming colors and warm wood furnishings and accents. Whenever I've decorated a nursery, the cribs have been the hardest decision for me. King Edmonds captioned the gallery, which also features husband Jim Edmonds and their 19-month-old daughter, Aspen. I chose to go with a neutral theme for the boys' room. Jimmy and I are in the process of building a house, so I wanted to build the nursery using as many items as we already had on hand, King Edmonds writes in a blog post titled Nursery 101. Want all the latest pregnancy and birth announcements, plus celebrity mom blogs? Click here to get those and more in the People Babies newsletter. Related, exactly what to buy from Khloe Kardashian's daughter True's nursery and how to get the look for less. The mother of three also explains how she purchased both her daughter and her son's cribs first, to set the stage for the rest of the decor. She bought one of Aspen's cribs as well as the boys' matching artisan collection cribs, $1,095 from Newport Cottages. I love that everything is made from solid wood, handcrafted in the USA and made to order, she writes. It just makes it feel a bit more special and personal for my perfect little bundles of joy. And the sienna oak finish worked with some items I already own and slides perfectly into the neutral decor I was trying to achieve, Kind Edmonds continues, adding that she chose a dresser, $1,145 from the same line. Once this was decided, the rest could come easily. Related video, Megan King Edmonds shares adorable close-up of her newborn twins, fresh to the world. I used to date from Aspen's room and just changed out the pillows. As Aspen gets older, she's using her room as more of a play space, so moving the Dabed out to make room was a no-brainer. I was really proud of this large-scale repurposing, says the star. I stuck the Dabed in between the cribs to break up the space under the window while giving us a functional area to sit. Other items throughout the room include crib sheets by Carousel Designs, $34, a Star Cloud Mobile by Baby Jives Co., $70, assorted succulents, $15, a Hatch Baby sound machine, $60, and a slide. I must say I'm uber pleased with the traditional, simple, bright and cheery aesthetic I achieved, all from getting inspiration from the finish on my cribs. King Edmonds says in her blog. Related, Brianne Davis reveals the inspiration behind son's nursery. We want to teach him compassion. She also shifted some rooms around, noting, the twins have taken over the couple's master bedroom. We turned a screened-in porch on the first floor into our master closet. We added a back stairwell to go up to our master bedroom, and we knocked out a door from the master bedroom to what we turned into our master retreat/TV room, and our master bathroom is off the retreat, King Edmonds explains. So we moved our furniture out of the retreat, turned it into our master bedroom, handed over the former master bedroom to the twins, and added a curtain where the knocked-out door between the two rooms once belonged, adds the star, who is also stepmom to Edmonds' 4 children from previous marriages. Says King Edmonds, so to recap, we have a 4-bedroom house with 5 kids and 3 adults. Tia Mori Hardrick and Tamara Mori Housley celebrated a huge milestone together, their 40th birthday. The identical twin sisters brought their closest friends and family together for a single "70s themed party at Good Times at Davy Wayne's in Hollywood on Saturday. We live very kind of busy lives, and I really wanted us to slow things down for a minute and take the time out to celebrate," Maury Hardrick exclusively told People. The last time we had a party together was when we turned 21. We have our individual careers, but I just felt like it was something we needed to celebrate together. We didn't miss a beat, Maury Housley added. It was kind of like when you're with your friend that you hadn't seen in a long time and you get together and it didn't feel any different. It felt like it was just yesterday. And of course, the sisters dress the part. From funky afros to bell-bottom jeans, the duo and their guests embrace the single "70s decade while dancing the night away, munching on classic bites such as hot dogs, hamburgers and grilled cheese sandwiches, and indulging in a colorful, retro birthday cake by Donnie Flowers Bakery. We were both able to relax and just be together with our friends for like 3 hours, said Maury Housley. My sister and I were just on the same page and it was awesome. And while the duo continue to focus on their individual careers and families, Tia and husband Corey Hardrick share 6-and-1/2-year-old son, Cree Taylor, and 2-month-old daughter, Cairo. Tamara and husband Adam Housley share 5-year-old son, Aiden, and 3-year-old daughter, Araya. They have an unbreakable bond. What I've learned over the years, especially being twins, people tend to view twins together and think that everything that they do has to be the same, said Maury Hardrick. Tamara and I, what we've done and what we've learned over the years is to embrace our differences, because by us being able to be individual people, we've been able to thrive. Just like in any type of relationship. You have to know who you are. You have to be content with who you are. When you celebrate your individuality, you become stronger together. She added, I think what I've learned is to embrace and respect our differences. We're night and day. With sisterhood, it's so wonderful and powerful. Being a woman in general is hard, but when you have someone who's going through the same miles. Mandy Moore is returning to her roots. The This Is Us actress announced on Instagram that she is back in the studio, nearly 2 decades after her single Candy first catapulted her to fame. Alongside a video that hinted at her rich vocals, Moore wrote on Instagram, "Getting back to it. It's time. I miss it. I'm not scared anymore. No more excuses. No more allowing someone else's sick insecurities to dictate my relationship to music and singing." Boom. Added Moore, "Also, this is just a little demo of something at the Mica Viola and I worked on yesterday. But still, it's a start." Moore released 6 studio albums between 1999 and 2009. Though she recently missed out on an Emmy nod for her turn as Rebecca Pearson in This Is Us, Moore's NBC hit did nab one for Outstanding Drama Series and nominations for Milo Ventimiglia, Sterling K. Brown, Ron Cephas-Jones, and Gerald McRaney. Last year, Moore opened up to people about her desire to record new music. "I want to return to music," Moore said. "I don't have a record label, but I have a lot of music written. Next year, I've decided I'm putting it out there." Moore is tackling quite a few challenges these days. In March, 24's Jack Bauer is coming back. Showrunner Howard Gordon and co-creators Joel Cerno and Bob Cochran are in the process of developing a new version of the show at 20th Century Fox, according to Variety, that will follow a young Jack, formerly played by Kiefer Sutherland. It will reportedly serve as a prequel to the original series, which aired in 2001, and will focus on Jack's early years as a counter-terrorist Unit 2 agent. Fox did not immediately respond to people's request for a comment. This will be the 3rd time that the series has been brought back following the original. After 24 ended in 2010 after 8 seasons, Sutherland, 51, reprised his role as Bauer in 24, Live Another Day in 2014. Live Another Day was a limited series that concluded in July of that same year. However, 24, Legacy, which premiered in 2017, followed a completely new character named Eric Carter. While the new adaptation will most likely not star Sutherland, he looks back on the show and its co-stars quite fondly. "I think we had 30-some odd weddings, marriages. Some people both on the show or another. I think some 40-some odd children were born," Sutherland said during the Just Cagle interview on the People/Entertainment Weekly Network in October 2016. Related article, Kiefer Sutherland is dating Cindy Vella. 5 things to know about the actress. The get-togethers were amazing. We were known as the show that, if you invited us to the Emmys, or you invited us to the Golden Globes or the Screen Actors Guild Awards, we were the last to leave, Sutherland continued. Sutherland also dished on how emotional he felt when filming the series finale. "That's the thing that I really remember, how much those people meant to me. And I probably didn't let them know enough how much they did, but they did. It was the thing that I miss the most," he said. "We all spent 8 years trying to finish this thing and we finally did. I was lost for about a year." Britney Spears may be the queen of pop, but it looks like she still needs some pop culture lessons, and her younger sister Jamie Lynn wants to teach him. On Tuesday night, Spears brought Andy Cohen on stage at Radio City Music Hall. It was all fun and S&M games until the end of his appearance, when she skipped over his name, calling out, "Give it up for him." After the Instagram account Comments by Celebs reposted the video on Wednesday, fans immediately started theorizing that Britney didn't know who he was. All the fuss prompted Jamie Lynn Spears to comment, Looks I need to have a Bravo binge with someone. We love you, Andy Cohen. Cohen responded, OMG, love you back. I love being your sister's bitch. Related, Britney Spears spanks Andy Cohen and reminisces on that infamous Madonna kiss. At NYC concert, Cohen made his Britney concert debut during her performance of Freak Show, and he, appropriately, wore a chest harness and a collar attached to a leash and crawled around the stage on all fours. He maintained his humor on stage and after, addressing the incident on his Sirius XM radio show. So what the press is saying is, basically, I said I was Mariah Carey Ed. She says, I think you all know who this is. Give it up for him. My take on this is, first of all, why would Britney know my name? She's Britney, bitch. I'm immortal. And Britney is Britney. I don't think she knows who I am. She gave me what I want. I don't need to think that she would even really know who I am. I mean, it's pretty funny, right? Britney is on the North American leg of her Piece of Me tour. She performed in New York City on Monday and Tuesday night and will head to Hollywood for concerts on Friday, Saturday and Sunday. Jamie Lynn recently became a mom of two after welcoming her daughter Ivy. Genevieve's road rage incident could have easily turned deadly, the other driver reveals. The teen mom two-star pulled her gun after a driver left her furious for tailgating her on the highway, footage of which was revealed on the MTV show Monday. The star 26 followed the other driver, Robert Robinson, Jr., to his home and began to take photos of him and his vehicle after the incident. The mother of three, who was in the car with her 8-year-old son Jace, pulled out her gun as she approached the house. The incident escalated with Evans accidentally backing into Robinson Jr.'s mailbox, which caused him to follow her back onto the main road in his own car. Robinson Jr. told TMZ that Evans was lucky to be alive as he alerted his neighbors when he saw her coming toward his house, and they were all allegedly armed. He told the outlet he also kept a gun in his truck which he claimed he only pulls out to protect himself, but he didn't take it out once he saw Evans' son in the car with her. On Monday night's episode of the popular MTV series, Evans grew furious when Robinson Jr. tailgated her in the highway, only to pass her and slam on his brakes once he was in front of her vehicle. As he took an exit ramp, Evans chose to follow him to his home where the incident ensued. At one point, she unbuckled her seatbelt, leaned forward and pulled out a small handgun as Jace watched. She unintentionally backed into the man's mailbox, causing him to yell at her, although what he specifically said was not audible. Related, teen mom's Jenelle Evans pulls out a gun with son Jace in the car during road rage incident. The incident escalated as the driver got back into his car and began to block Evans' car from leaving. Dude, he just hit my car. Babe, he just hit my car. She yelled at Ethan, who was still on speakerphone as she attempted to drive off. Dude, leave me alone, she said as she pulled out her firearm. While MTV cameras did not show Evans brandishing the handgun, they did show a black screen reading, "At this point, Jenelle pulled out her firearm." Evans did not immediately respond to people's request for comment. The incident took place on April 26, and neither driver was charged at the time. Related, teen mom Jenelle Evans says Child Protective Services has been called to her house 20 times. North Carolina State Highway Patrol told people on Tuesday that they are not reopening the investigation. A request by our member to view the video footage from the personal-owned video recording devices was never fulfilled by the involved parties, a public information officer for North Carolina State Highway Patrol told people in a statement. After seeing the footage aired on July 23, 2018, There are no plans to reopen the investigation into the collisions or any offenses occurring on a state-maintained roadway. Any additional violation of law committed outside the subject matter jurisdiction, motor vehicle law, of the State Highway Patrol would be within the discretion of the Brunswick County Sheriff's Department. The mother of 3 to Jace, son Kaiser, 3, and daughter Ensley, 18 months has come under fire for sharing photos and videos of herself with guns on social media, including when her husband shared a clip of Evans holding and aiming a rifle the same day as the Florida high school shooting in February that killed 17. Evans didn't back down, even posting a photo of her son Kaiser with a toy gun captioned "country living" shortly after. She also talked to Jace in a recent episode about the National Rifle Association. Ashlee Simpson Ross is getting back to the small screen, and her sister Jessica Simpson did not see it coming. The upcoming docuseries Ashlee and Evan will track Simpson Ross and her husband Evan Ross, Diana Ross' son, as the couple records an album together and raises daughter Jagger Snow, almost 3, and Bronx Mowgli, the singer's 9-year-old son with ex-husband Pete Wentz. At Butycon in Los Angeles, Simpson shared her surprise with Entertainment Tonight, saying, "I was shocked that she said yes to it because you're my kid for everything." "Wait, are you sure you want everything to be out there?" She's like, "Yeah, I'm really confident," continued Simpson to the outlet of her sister. "I was like, well, that's what you have to have when you're doing reality. You have to be confident in who you are and what you're standing for, and I think that she is." Related, why Ashlee Simpson Ross is returning to reality TV after a decade. "It's been 10 years where I've just been mommy." So would Simpson ever consider reviving her own reality television career? "Oh gosh no," she told ET. "I am confident, but I also know how people can take your words and make them whatever they want to make them. I'm a loose cannon. I somehow always make for a one-liner here or there." Simpson starred on her own reality show with ex-husband Nick Lachey, Newlyweds, Nick and Jessica, from 2003 to 2005. Simpson Ross followed up with a spin-off, The Ashlee Simpson Show, from 2004 to 2005. Simpson told ET that she will appear toward the end of Ashlee and Evan. "It's definitely their journey together and discovering their music together, which is awesome. She's out there singing again, which I couldn't be more proud of," Simpson told the outlet. Earlier this year, Simpson Ross told People she was excited for the reality series, explaining, "It's been 10 years for me where I've just been mommy. It's been an amazing 10 years, but now we're getting back into music." She added, "You get to see me counting on fans. Meet Felicity Nicole Vuolo." More than a week after becoming first-time parents to their baby girl, Jinger Duggar Vuolo and her husband Jeremy introduced their daughter to audiences through a sweet family video. "We are so happy and pleased to announce the birth of our little girl," Jeremy said in a TLC video shared Monday on their family website that features himself and Jinger holding Felicity. Little Felicity was born at 4:37 a.m. on Thursday, July 19, at 8 pounds and 3 ounces and 19.5 inches long. As to how the couple came to decide on the name, Jeremy explained they went with Nicole because that's Jinger's middle name and a way to honor her, and Felicity really describes supreme joy and the joy that we have in this little one and the joy that we pray she would have throughout life. Of entering motherhood, Jinger gushed, "It's incredible being first-time parents. It's something that you think about and dream about, but when it's actually here, I think the reality hits you and it's just the sweetest thing in the whole world. I think the most exciting thing about having a little girl is seeing this little piece of Jinger and me together," said new dad Jeremy, who admitted in January that he would love to have a little princess. "It's just absolutely amazing," said Jinger. "There are no words to describe how it feels to hold your little one." The couple tied the knot in November 2016 and announced in January of this year that they were expecting. In April, the soon-to-be parents learned that they were expecting a daughter through a relay race completed by friends and family in Laredo, Texas. In a statement to people following Felicity's birth, Jeremy said, "God is so kind." Jeremy Vuolo is quickly adjusting to the realities of parenthood. Less than a week ago, Jeremy and his wife Jinger Vuolo welcomed their first child, daughter Felicity Nicole Vuolo, at 4:37 a.m. on Thursday, July 19. And in the days since the couple brought home their baby girl, Jeremy learned just what caring for a newborn entails. In 2 Instagram posts on Monday, the new dad hilariously opened up about his new relationship with sleep and coffee. "To sleep, my dear friend and faithful companion, so long. It was a good run. Fondly, Jeremy," he wrote in overlaying text on a photo of an unmade bed. He captioned the image, "Goodbye, dear friend. #parenthood." In the second post, Jeremy, 30, shared a photo of a coffee cup and wrote, "To coffee, it's just you and me now. Don't let me down. Gratefully, Jeremy." He captioned the image, "You've never tasted so good. #parenthood." The couple tied the knot in November 2016. They announced in January of this year that they were expecting. In April, the soon-to-be parents learned that they were expecting a daughter through a relay race completed by friends and family in Laredo, Texas. "We are so happy to announce that we are having a little baby girl," the Counting on Stars told people at the time. "We could not be more excited and are eagerly anticipating meeting our little lady this summer. We especially love thinking forward and realizing that she will have excellent role models in both of her grandmothers, who cannot wait to shower her with love." Following the birth of his daughter, Jeremy said in a statement to people, "God is so kind. Both mom and baby are healthy, doing great, and resting well." He continued, "Joanna Gaines knows a thing or two about parenting. She is a mom of 5 after all." The star, 40, shared new glimpses of her son, Crew, and her secret to getting her little one to sleep on her Instagram story Wednesday. Joanna, who welcomed Crew on June 21, simply took a stroll with the baby around her garden, and the little tot, whom she shares with husband Chip Gaines, fell fast asleep. "Walking with my boy in the garden," Joanna captioned the video as she focused on Crew's sleeping face leaning into her arm as she held him. Mom and Bub looked very content as they made the most of the garden at the Gaines' large farm property in Waco, Texas. In another photo she shared later, the former fixer-upper star shared a closer view of her son wearing a baby blue onesie while wrapped in a forest green blanket with a matching pacifier. Want all the latest pregnancy and birth announcements, plus celebrity mom blogs? Click here to get those and more in the People Babies newsletter. Joanna and Chip have 4 older children, Emmy K, 8, Duke, 9, Ella, 11, and Drake, 13. And the siblings can't get enough of their new brother. Related, Chip and Joanna Gaines' welcome son, the Gaines crew is now one stronger. On Saturday, the proud mom shared a sweet video of her daughters cradling their baby brother in their backyard hammock as she gushed, taking turns. Joanna shared another tender moment between her boy and 2 girls, posting a photo of them tending to him during a summer night beneath a string of lights. In May, the Gaines opened up to people about how their new baby was changing the dynamic in their expanding household. "Every single time they see my belly they have to rub it, A then-pregnant Joanna said of her 4 older children. "I think it's sweet because they're older now, and I can see them wanting to be a part of this." Related, every adorable photo of Chip and Joanna's new baby, Krugains, she added, "We're all rallying around this baby, which I feel is a sweet gift to our family." With a new baby in the family, Chip continues a tradition he started dating back to the birth of his first son Drake 13 years ago. Joanna recently shared a sweet photo of her husband holding their newborn. This might be the most physically demanding job of John Cena's career. The 41-year-old pro wrestler jokingly offered to step in a bodyguard for the massively popular Korean pop boy band BTS on Twitter this week. The offer came after fans of the band called for protection for BTS after their arrival at a Korean airport wreaked havoc due to admirers hoping to catch a glimpse of the famous group. "We need John Cena and his gang to punch those pitches if they cross the line at the airport," wrote on Twitter user. "Once John Cena volunteers to be BTS single-quote bodyguard, it's over for y'all sings," tweeted another. Eventually, word got back to Cena, who swiftly offered his services. Cena, who is known as the Invisible Man in wrestling, joked that he has already been working with the band. "I've had a little trouble keeping up lately, but does at BTS_TWT at BTS_Beat need a bodyguard? Crazy because I've been touring with them for years, they just can't see me. #Godire6, he wrote. The 7-member South Korean boy band, who get their name from the acronym for the Korean term Bangtan Sonyeondan, or Bulletproof Boy Scouts in English, have been global superstars since the release of their June 2013 single No More Dream. Lately, the Bangtan Boys, as they're often called, have made one of the biggest impacts on the American pop chart since Psy, with their hip-hop/R&B infused sound earning them millions of fans. In May 2017, BTS was up for a Billboard Music Award for Top Social Artists, competing against Justin Bieber, Selena Gomez, Ariana Grande, and Shawn Mendes. They won, having spent 30 weeks at the top of Billboard's Social 50 chart, which ranks the most active. John David Duggar has found his forever match. The Counting On star, 28, is engaged to Abby Burnett, the couple announced Wednesday in a joint statement on the family website. "Wow! We are engaged. This feels even more real than before. It was a special moment to share together," Duggar and Burnett said. "The proposal and the yes really solidified that we want to spend the rest of our lives together. One of the most amazing things about following Christ is being able to trust Him to direct your path and lead your life," they continued. "We are so thankful that He led us to one another. Now we need to start thinking about a wedding." Their engagement comes a month after the pair revealed the news of their courtship in a TLC video. "We've known of each other for several years, but we didn't meet till," Duggar said, as Burnett, who works as a nurse, chimed in. "John flew in for a church event here in Oklahoma, where I'm from. We really got connected then. We fell in love very quickly," said Duggar. "And it's been a wonderful journey thus far, and taking the next step to move on to a courtship." In a sweet TLC video after Duggar popped the question, he got down on one knee in an airplane hangar in front of a sign that reads, "Abby, will you marry me?" The beaming pair showed off Burnett's gorgeous ring and explained how engagement is different from courtship. "Engagement is very different than a courtship, because engagement actually says, 'Kay, I'm committed to this person to marriage for life,'" explained Duggar. "A courtship is more of a I'm getting to know this person with the idea of the possibility of marriage. But now it's actually that commitment towards marriage. We've been ready for this step for a little while, but it was really just I had a lot of things I wanted to get done to make it really special," said Duggar. Jonathan Rhys-Meyers is praising his wife after getting into a verbal dispute with her on a cross-country flight. The actor, 40, opened up on Pio Pleno about his wife, Mara Lane, with whom he shares one-year-old son Wolf. "Oh, my wife is a superior woman. She's incredible," Rhys-Meyers said after being asked if Lane helped him with his struggles. "Yeah, incredible. I couldn't be luckier." The Vikings actor was briefly detained by police after he, Lane and their son landed in Los Angeles from Miami on Sunday. Lane addressed the incident on Instagram Tuesday, explaining her husband was working on his anger issues and that the incident on the flight wasn't serious. 8 months of sobriety and an unfortunate day of airline travel, Lane wrote. "We were in South America specifically working holistically through anger issues that result in these kinds of episodes. When in it, he is not in a frame of mind where he can really even comprehend the repercussions and necessary response to his own actions." She added, "Jay is extremely sorry for any inconveniences caused to anyone traveling yesterday." Rhys-Meyers opened up about his sobriety and handling it in the public eye, saying, "Most of the time I handle it pretty well. But every so often you make a stupid mistake," he said. "But living life in the public eye is very different. Remember, I've been an actor for 25 years and the whole world has changed enormously since I've started becoming an actor. It's very, very difficult to be left alone." Related, Jonathan Rhys-Meyers was working through anger issues before he was detained by cops. He continued, explaining the allure people had to actors on the screen. "When you make films, people have to go to the cinema, they have to make an effort. But when you're in a TV show, you come into somebody's living room every Tuesday night or every Thursday night and you become a part of their family. In a way, people think they know you, but they don't," Rhys-Meyers said. So, the invasion of privacy in the entertainment world, or as somebody who is celebrated for something, can be very, very difficult, he continued. "For me to be able to go out to live a life where I can have a real experience, and then I can take that experience and I can create a role with it is very, very difficult when you're sitting in a restaurant with your wife and little son and someone is trying to take a photograph." For her part, Lane explained on Instagram the two didn't fight as reported, just had a disagreement about the actor using an e-cigarette. Airport police were eventually called to the gate when the plane landed due to the prohibited use of smoking devices on board. Related video, Jonathan Rhys-Meyers breaks silence on plane incident. "I shouldn't drink, it doesn't suit me." Single quote, "There was no argument, just me asking him to not use his e-cig per stewardess request to me and him not being himself, speaking very, very unkindly," she continued. It was out of his even before Lauren Swanson Duggar began her courtship with now husband Josiah Duggar. She was already considered a member of the family. "Lauren is such a sweetheart and we already consider her as one of the sisters," Jessa Duggar Seawald shares in a People-exclusive sneak peek at Monday evening's Counting On season premiere episode. Josiah and Lauren tied the knot at the end of June, 6 months after they announced they were courting in January. Before the couple began their courtship, a few of the Duggar daughters, Jana Duggar, Joanna Duggar, Forsyth, Kendra Caldwell Duggar and Seawald, took Lauren out for a girls' dinner, where her forever future with Josiah began. "I don't think that Lauren has a clue what is coming tonight," Seawald, 25, says in the clip, hinting at her brother Josiah asking Lauren to enter into a courtship. "We're definitely glad to have y'all closer," Seawald tells Lauren, whose family moved from a different state. "And I know that one particular person especially is glad to have y'all closer." Josiah was pretty excited whenever he knew that there was talk of y'all moving here, Seawald tells Lauren. He really thinks a lot of you." 4 months before the couple began their courtship, the pair hit it off around the time of Kendra and Joseph Duggar's wedding in September 2017, when Luann first noticed that her now husband was interested. "I noticed when Josiah was interested in me probably, I think it was Joe and Kendra's wedding," she says. "We were both working together a lot, trying to get everything accomplished, and I had noticed, oh, he would do anything for me. Always, anything. He was always available," she says with a smile. After spending time with Luann one-to-one, Josiah was attracted to multiple character traits, but there was one in particular that stood out to him. "What attracted me to Luann was really just seeing her. She had a head on her shoulders, working on college, stuff like that," shares Josiah, who popped the question in March. "She loves getting out of her shell and just encouraging others. That's the biggest thing for me. She focuses on others. She's from a family with lots of kids, so she knows how to handle all that. There's a lot of character there that I see in her life, and really someone I'd like to learn more about." And although Josiah had not yet begun his courtship with Luann at the time of filming, their relationship already had a firm foundation. "We feel like we're ahead in our relationship more than what we are." Julia Roberts is showing off her blonde doe. While promoting